Hello, my myths, monsters, all those sorts of lore and legend. I am here. We're doing another tier list with Dom. Say hi, Dom.
Hello, hello.
Hi, it's good to see you again, buddy. It's been a bit. I hope you're doing well.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. Ebitha's Ebitha's here, and Ed Dragon Catman. Hi, how you doing, y'all? So this is a sequel stream, and we're talking about season two of Scooby Doo Mystery Incorporated, which, for those of you who don't know, was a 2012 iteration of the Scooby Doo show, which had lore, an ongoing story, character arcs, etc. It, yeah. Last time we reviewed the first season, which I have saved as a VOD on my YouTube channel, so go check it out, and also go check out Dom on his various stuff. So there's my card, and here's uh, Domster's Twitter and Twitch. Yeah, you want to tell a little bit
Woo!
about yourself, Dom? Like what you do, like all that stuff.
Uh,
It's okay, buddy.
I
There's no
was a
wrong answers.
streamer. I do a lot of art on the side. I am trying to get back into streaming again. It's been kind of rough with the schedule, but so if you click on my links, it's gonna be a little bit empty, but I will get there, guys. I
Yeah,
swear.
hey, take all the time you need. That's the thing about streaming is you do it when you want, and if you can't do it, that's okay. There was a time where I rarely streamed, and now I only do like 2 streams a week if I can manage it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like yeah. So don't tire yourself out. You're a great streamer. I think I still remember tuning into one of your streams. It was pretty fun. It was very chill.
Oh, I thank you. I
Yeah,
love your streams when I catch them. I
it's
usually
it's okay.
catch your vlog.
It's okay. You're a busy boy. I get it. All right, but yeah. Last time we reviewed season one, I guess just to give overall thoughts of season one, I thought that season one was a really great show. It had very much high points, like the finale episodes, like All Fear the Freak, Pawn of Shadows, and other standout episodes like In Fear of the Phantom and Mystery Solvers Club State Finals. Those were great ones. The show definitely, this season definitely did have like its questionable moments, like things such as jokes that are now out of touch, and also just like out of touch character moments, and even just like some, even rarely still, some poor writing, like in Battle of the
Yeah.
Humungonauts, which is a boring ass episode. Don't watch it. There's no point.
Yeah,
Uh,
just skip it,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah, that's still the worst episode in my opinion. I think season two is considerably better. Which to talk about that, I think season two is better. I like how it's more story focused, and I will say I think the comedy in season one is better. I think that is a better like show in terms of general. It's more well rounded, but I think that what season two does well, it does really well. The character arcs, the deep lore, and like I don't know, it just has it does have that finality of like this is season two and this is the last season.
hmm
Yeah, what did you think of this season, Dom?
Emotional.
Yeah, oh my god, god, there were so many moments where I was close to crying. I'm not gonna lie.
The end it gets me every time.
Yeah, the
I
end makes
won't
me
lie.
smile so
So,
much.
it's sad, but
It's
it's
bittersweet.
so beautiful. Yeah, just watch it. But
Yeah, yeah, watch it. This is your last chance. We're gonna spoil the fuck out of it. Even if
oh yeah,
after,
sorry guys.
yeah, even if after that, please watch it. It's really good. Hi Montana, good to see you. We're talking about Scooby Doo, Mystery Inc. season two. There's gonna be spoilers, so I hope you're ready. But yeah, you ready for this shindig, Dom?
Woohoo! I'm
Eh,
ready.
Yeah, me too. All right. I guess, yeah, for some context, I wrote notes, and but also I'm gonna be using the power of improv to just use my memory as well. So yeah, that's what I'm working with personally.
Me
Yes.
too.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay. But yeah, to give just like a little summary of season one, so the characters are, there's the Scooby Gang solving mysteries as ever, and the important things that happen uh, are there's a plot MacGuffin called the Planispheric Disc. It's a magic circle that has a helped explorers back during the days of the conquistadors. It's split into 6 pieces, and the main villain of the series, Professor Pericles, has 2 of them. And the characters are split up by the season finale. Fred's off on his own, trying to find his parents. Velma is on her own. Daphne's betrayed. Shaggy gets sent to military camp, and Scooby is sent to a farm. And you know, then there's also other established characters like Mr. E, who is a kind of friend, kind of foe of the Mystery Inc. squad. There's Cassidy Williams, aka Angel Dynamite, who is friend who betrayed the team by not being honest. And then there's of course Sheriff Bronson Stone, best himbo besides Fred. Um,
True.
True. I loved him in this season. We're gonna get to that, but then yeah, there's him. Fred's adoptive father, Mayor Jones, is jailed, and you know, all is in disarray. But Scooby promises to bring back the crew, and now we go on to our first episode, which is the night the clown cried. Yeah, I
Yeah.
I think I think this episode was good. I think it was like a nice like start to the series second season, because it shows that like everything is fucked, and like the gang just barely come back together. And yeah, there's a new there's a new freak in town, the crybaby clown, and he's tearing things up. And uh Velma, Scooby, Shaggy, and Fred are brought back together, try to stop it. Daphne is on her own adventure with her fucking boyfriend now, Baylor Hotner. Uh, at,
Yeah.
yeah, I can't believe they'd bring him back. That's something. And yeah, she's pissed at Fred, very justifiably, and they try to capture the monster, and it fails. And I think I like this episode. It's good. I think it definitely fails in a few fronts. Like, it's not as funny as some of the other episodes that have come before it. And the villain, I'm not gonna lie, I think he sucks. I think he's like,
Oh, I hate the villain.
God,
I'm
he's
sorry.
yeah, he's pretty mid. Like, I'll give him points that like he's creative. His weapons are cool, like kind of, and like they needed like an insane guy to be like the first villain, back. So I understand that. But also, he's just kind of there. Like, he's just a plot device, which I mean every villain is, but like other ones have like charm or like scare factor. Like the I don't know, like he's not as scary as the Fright Hound, and he's not as charming as Lord Infernicus. Like, he's just there. He's just a guy. Like,
Just a little menace.
he's a fucking. He looks like a redditor.
Oh.
Sorry, a Reddit moderator. My bad.
Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah, I think this episode was good. I think the story of it really carried. Like, all the different scenes just like worked well together, and like I think the pacing was also good. Like, only slightly it dragged, and like every scene for the most part felt like the right length.
Mhm.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Dom? What you think of this episode?
So besides the monster, the bad guy, uh,
Mm-hmm.
I did really like the first episode. I thought it
Mm-hmm.
was good how the gang is almost back together. Daphne will just take her time. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Letting off some steam.
Dating a guy who is Taylor Hotner.
Yeah, I feel like there could have been better options, but small
I,
town, I
I,
guess.
I. Yeah. What other options are there in this town? There's the jocks who suck. There's, uh,
Yeah.
uh, like, yeah. There's the hot dog water. That's Vilma. Don't. She shouldn't go for that. I'm trying to like. There's background characters, I guess, but like, who the fuck cares? I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
there wasn't really anyone for her. Like, she falls in love with projects. She's a I can fix him kind of woman.
honestly sums up her pretty well, yeah.
Yeah. I guess just to talk about the characters for a second. I think again, for the most part, like they're developed in this second season. Like, their arcs do resolve, which is nice, which I'll point out like across the different episodes. And like there's some really nice moments of like friendship and trust. I will say I think Daphne like across this series is the worst of the main five. I love Daphne in this version. I think that she can be like a badass. She is really good with talking to people, finding clues, uh, and like she does have a genuine like intimate moments with Fred, but I also think one, she's a bit too much of a damsel in distress, and two, like she's kind of shitty to people sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, like even more shitty than Velma could be in the first season.
Yeah, I feel like they focus too much on her just being in love with Fred and just that's her only quality that they brought out, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
sad.
yeah, and
Cause
like
she's a badass in the movies.
yeah, like in the movies or in other media, like she is, like a biker, and also she's a girly girl. Like I think this is something that I love that happens sometimes is like Daphne will take something from her purse and just do something with it. Like in What's New Scooby Doo,
Yes,
she'll take like like something from her perfume kit and then use that to like pick locks. And I think that's really fun. And she
my
actually does that in one
favorite.
episode. And I feel like if they would have shown that like Daphne is good with like tools, I think that would be really fun. That's a really fun characteristic, honestly. I and I remember I forgot who, but I think I saw a post somewhere that someone was like, if like Daphne and Fred were a power couple, where like Fred makes the traps and then Daphne is like tough badass but also girly girl, and she has like the know-how of like locks and stuff. So like she can help like make it, and I think that's really fun.
Hmm.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, in this series
Uh,
she's not as great as she can be. I think she's still a good Daphne. She's not as like in like some of the movies, like there's I think it's like Scooby Doo and the Monster of Mexico. There's like a scene where they're getting attacked by scorpions. She's like, "Ooh, gross spiders!" And it like I hate Bimbo Daphne, and she's not Bimbo Daphne. She is far from that, and she has her really nice moments. But I think like the other characters in this team are like eight, nines, and tens. She's like a seven. Anyways, back
yeah.
yeah, back to the episode itself. I think one thing also there's the new mayor. So there's the new mayor, Mayor Nettles. She's like a decently recurring character throughout this season, and she kind of does just exist to kind of move the plot along and be like, "Gang, here's this trouble that's happening." But I think she is like a decent character. It's kind of nice that she's like a straight man to all the nonsense. She's just like, in the first episode, she's like, "I had no idea what I was getting into when I decided to be mayor." Yeah, and also her going off the sheriff is really funny sometimes. Uh,
Yeah, I
hmm
love their little bickers, their little chit chats throughout the rest of the season with
yeah,
Pierre
it,
Bronson.
yeah, it even
It's kind of
develops something more,
cute.
which we'll talk about in
It's cute.
another episode. Yeah, it's really cute. I think it's really sweet. And again, I think like it's, I think like she's the reason she's just kind of boring is just that she's grounded, and like I think like it's interesting to see her grounded because she'll like see like these monsters, be like, "What the hell is this?" And then the other character's like, "Yeah, this is a Tuesday. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's interesting to see that like also yeah, I guess other like standout scenes in this are Scooby driving a tank through a military base to save Shaggy. That shit's awesome.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite scenes in the whole show. It's so fucking fun.
Ah, Scooby's best character. It's my
Yeah,
favorite.
yeah. Uh, Also I
Well,
love
I guess
yeah.
R.I.P. to Fred too.
Yeah, he
It's
becomes
kind
a
of sad
hobo in
though,
this
but
episode. I
yeah.
theoretically it's been like a year, right? And Fred's like 17, 18. Like the most amount of facial hair you're going to get in like a year is like not that long. Like that's a prop beard. Like that takes like 20 years to grow, if like even that. Yeah, yeah.
It's a look.
Yeah. Let's see other things of note. In this season, they introduced the previously on, which a lot of shows were doing at this time, and I think that although I don't like them and that they spoil the episode, it's also important for people to see. And also, like, at least on like Netflix and other things, you can skip it, so it's fine.
Mm.
They're harmless. Uh, yeah. Also, there were some nice scenes in this, like Scooby when he's at the farm, like looking at a picture of his friends and just reminiscing, and like at the end when like Velma and Shaggy are like, "Hey Fred, it's okay, we're a team. We're gonna fail together," and Fred's like, "We're not a team yet, not without Daphne." Like that shit's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Let's see. And then in terms of comedy, I think this episode again, it was okay in terms of comedy. It did a sufficient job. Like one of my favorite one of my favorite lines was that like the general or whatever talking to Shaggy, and then Shaggy's like, "Do you really want me to answer that?" Let's see. He's an evil clown. What? Oh my god. Uh, yeah. Uh, yeah. Also, Mark Hamill voices the clown, which I just found out through looking at the cast.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So fucking. I guess it makes sense because he's the Joker. So I guess he's good at voicing madmen with cute obsessions. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Uh, let's see. I'm just seeing if there's like anything else in my note.
Mhm.
Uh, they hate us till they need us. That's a fucking mood if I've ever heard it. That's
Ah,
another line from this episode.
true.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'd say that uh this is like a decent first start to the episode. I like to the series. I'd put this at like below the Escape from Mystery Manor. I think it is.
Mm.
I think it is a very nice start. Like I put it in like B tier, high B.
I would probably put it in low B just only because of the baby face. I hate
I
looking at him.
I
I
hate him too,
don't
but I think
look.
the rest of the episode makes up enough. Like, yeah, honestly, okay, you know what? I'm gonna put him. Actually, he's like, I'm gonna put like him like below Night Fright as well. Night Fright's way better. But yeah, like, but yeah, he's. It's good. I think it's good. I just think like the story itself of like the gang getting together. That's what it is. Like this, I think this season's a lot less about the mystery itself within each episode. And it's like, what does that mean for the story of the crew, which is nice. The gang. Yeah. All right, is that everything you have to say about that episode?
I think so.
All right. All right, let's go on to episode 28. Episode 2 of season 2, The House of the Nightmare Witch.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I really love this episode.
It's
Uh,
one of my favorites.
yeah, this is one of my favorites of the season. So, basic run through is that Velma pitches Marcy, aka Hot Dog Water. I just call her Marcy because that's her real name. But she pitches Marcy as joining the group, and they go on an adventure to stop Baba Yaga, who's in the woods. All while Velma is grappling with like working with Mister E, which is interesting. Uh, I I think this episode is really fucking good. I love the interactions between Velma and Marcy. They're so cute, like best lesbians on this fucking planet. Uh, they are. Look, they just are. Yeah, the
It's true. I do love them together.
yeah. There's let's see. Yeah, I think the villain is way better than the fucking baby. Like she's actually pretty decently scary, and like I love her house as well. Her house is just weird and has chicken legs, and I think that's cool. And also,
The chase scene
yeah, the chasing was
in
pretty
the
good.
woods.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was fucking hype, and
I love the animation.
yeah, I think the CGI looks pretty decent on the house. Like it holds up well enough, and also for some reason, I just find this episode really funny. Like, fucking lines like homemade prison candy. I just think drugs. uh, oh, God, there's the clearing is clear, like a clearing. This, is that Daphne's hair? God, it was so fucking funny. I was like laughing
Fred is
a
so
decent amount.
distraught.
Yeah, Fred. Yeah, Fred is still a broken man in this episode. I think this is also I think one of the worst parts about this season, which is that Fred is like overly flirtatious with Daphne, and it's like this season really it's like oh they're gonna get together. It's like can we wait on that? Can we like show them being friends again and like then their love reforms? It feels like kind of forced at times.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I don't know, it's just like Fred kind of is like weird about it, and then Daphne gets like obsessed with him, and then she's weird about it. It's just like stop. Both of you go to therapy, grow as people, then meet on a bridge on a sunny afternoon, and then kiss. Like that's all you need to do. Okay, that's how you do romance. But yeah, I'd say this episode was very good overall. I think the story and the pacing are. I think the story's a little less interesting than the one before, but it was still very good, as well as the pacing being very good. And also in this episode, they find the third piece of the planispheric disc, which is fucking hype as hell.
Almost there, baby.
Yeah, they're halfway there, and yeah, yeah, and also Mr. E just showing up in Marcy's house is fucking like is terrifying because you don't see him outside his lair, and then there he fucking is.
Yeah, that was kind of.
I
I don't know. Maybe call instead.
Yeah, I'm I don't know. I kind of like that. It shows that like I think in the first season it show like it's trying to be like is Mr. E like a villain? Is he like why if he's a villain then why is he helping the kids so much? Is that his evil plan? And like what's his deal with Pericles, all that stuff. And like obviously you learn some of that. But in this season he is more of a villain like and I think that shows like he's being corrupted by the curse of Crystal Cove, and I think that's really awesome that like they're like I think it's nice to have him as a villain before Pericles shows up because then it's like that's the threat for now, and then you're reminded of Pericles, and it's like oh yeah this guy sucks. Yeah. Anyways, I'd say this episode was very good overall. I like the wood settings. I like the I like the dynamic with Marcy. Honestly, if Marcy was added as a sixth member, I think I wouldn't mind because then it'd be kind of like, they each get their pairs. It'd be Fred and Daphne having their thing, Scooby and Shaggy having their thing, and then Marcy and Velma having their thing. I think that would be cute.
Yeah, I like even as if she just more of like talking a little bit more, not even like an official member, but how oh my God, I'm blanking. Miss oh no. No, what's her name? Oh
Which
no.
character? Which character is it? What do they look like?
You're gonna shame me.
No, tell me. What do
Uh
they look like? What do they look like?
uh all I can think is like mommy.
Wait,
Wait,
what?
wait, jumpsuit mommy.
J- Angel Dynamite?
Angel Dynamite. Oh my God.
Her name's Cassidy Williams as well.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was thinking. I was
Jumpsuit
trying to figure out
mommy.
what.
Uh, I know what kind of women you're into.
her name and like her, I guess, alter ego was like blending together. And I was like, no, that's not right. That's not right.
Her name is not Jumpsuit Cassidy Williams. God, okay. Anyways, yeah, but yeah, this I like this episode, and I think this is like a good like second episode as well because it shows like they're still getting their they're still getting their mojo back together, but like they're solving another mystery for now. Like they're trying to move forward with their life.
Mhm.
Yeah. Uh. Yeah. Any other thoughts on this episode?
Um, I mean, so like the whole thing of like the villain just like smuggling eggs is so wild to
He,
me. But
I'm.
I guess
I
in
mean,
the previous season someone was doing doorknobs, so I was like, well,
yeah, it's not
I
that
feel
far fetched. I mean, it kind of makes more sense because at least Fabergé eggs is like, I don't know, that's something that is like valuable, at least in the eyes of the rich.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, God. Also, I remember thinking he was talking, like saying his plans, like, then I could come to America and be a rich capitalist. I'm like, that's not how that works, buddy. You have to be
Yeah,
born into
sorry.
wealth to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. On, Only rarely do people make it. Anyways, I think I'd put this at like, uh, I'd put this at like a middle A tier. I think it's really good.
Hmm, hmm.
Where would you rank it, my fine friend?
I would also put it in A2 just because I really like it.
Hell yeah, me too. I think it's really good. All right. I think, well, that's that. And now we move on to our next episode. Uh, 28, or episode 3, season 2. The House of. Episode 29, or episode 3 of season 2. The Night the Clown Cried 2, Tears of Doom.
He's
Uh,
back.
yeah, I think this episode is middling. It's all right. So it's the clown returns and he is kidnapping random people at first, and then the the gang are still grappling with the loss of Daphne, and and then they solve the mystery, and it's like the clown is defeated, and Daphne comes back to the crew, and it's like, oh, what about Marcy? Is she gonna have to leave now? Uh,
Mm.
Also, within this episode, it has a unique intro that shows Marcy looking longingly at a picture of Velma when usually would be Daphne looking at a picture of Fred. So,
Yes.
yes, I love the lesbians. They're great. Yeah, but I'd say this episode was fine, but it's not anything special. I think it's really, really middling. Like, okay, to talk about some high points, I think that the clown is used a little better in this episode. Like, I don't know, I liked him a little bit more, and I think like I basically ranked them from like 5 categories. It's story, pacing, comedy, villain, and then lore significance. And I'd say for lore, it's a little better. There's like, uh, you know, Daphne being back is nice, and I don't know. It's like I kind of wish that there were more like episodes with like the crew plus hot dog water, but it's like, what are you gonna do? It it happened. I'm glad Daphne's back though, and I think that the ending set piece is great, where they're all on a plane and they're fighting the clown. Like that is really fun, and is like a great clip. But I think this episode is just really middling. I think the story and plot are just kind of a little boring. The I Fred is really fucking creepy in this episode. Like
Yeah.
he goes to therapy at the start, and the therapist does not help him at all. Like, bro, uh, and the I think it's really not that funny. Like, there's like I think one funny joke in there. Like, there's the I love the publicist. The publicist who's like the bald fruity guy. I love him. He's great.
Yes.
But like besides that, like it's not that funny. Uh, and then in terms of lore, there's you know, two people coming for Fred. You can probably guess who it is, but we don't know for sure. And yeah, Mr. E talking to Cassidy Williams, and Cassidy trying to offer help to the gang and not doing it, not getting it. But also, Cassidy gets a fucking haircut. I'm not gonna lie, I liked her with all the hair before, but you know, what are you gonna do?
I mean, she looks good. She looks good,
She
but
does
I
look good.
did like her outfit before.
She's very dignified for sure. I do love her outfit though; it's really good.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah. Also, Shaggy's mom sucks really hard.
His parents are so awkward.
Yeah, I hate it. It's like also Shaggy is like lying and being like, "Oh, on a secret military mission," which is like they could do something with that, but they don't. So yeah, that happens. I don't know. Like, there's some other nice bits with you know like you you still got me, which is I think either Marcy talking to Velma or Velma talking to Marcy. I forget which one, but yeah, I think that was a nice line. It was nice to have the lesbians, but yeah, I don't know. It's just like kind of there. Like it's just there. They wanted Daphne back, and they couldn't have more hot dog water, I guess. So they were like, okay, guess we need to resolve the clown story. But yeah, also the clown being Baylor Hotner. It is the stupidest villain reveal of the series, I think. And like with other stupid villain reveals, like with the fish guys being the eco the eco people, like that's played for laughs and that's funny. But like this is just stupid. He's like, I wanted to prepare for my next acting film. Why'd you have to terrorize a fucking town? Like,
Yeah, what was the thought behind that?
yeah, like
Like, what if
bro,
you go to
like
jail? Are you
yeah,
gonna act the same?
he kidnaps five people, and he nearly like kills a town. Uh, let's see what else. He like I understand. Is this guy fucking Jared Leto and he's trying to be a character actor? Fuck that. Yeah, fuck you, Baylor Hotner.
Yeah, did he ever explain what the role was for?
It was for the
Yeah.
night the clown cried. That was the movie. It's like,
Oh,
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Why would he have that? Why would he take that movie? Like, bro, is this a Jared Leto situation where you think he can play a crazy character? God, fucking.
he must be losing money. He must need
I mean, I,
something.
I mean, I think in like the first episode there was like a joke about like eco pants or something. Maybe that lost him money.
Mm,
Anyways, yeah, thanks for the redeem, Mermaidrian. I gotta be a loaf now. Anyways, this episode is mid. It's like, it has enough good scenes and elements to not make it like C tier for me. So I'm gonna put it in like the very bottom of B.
yeah.
Yeah, where would you put it?
Uh,
Yeah,
it. I will put it in C, but it only gets B because I do love Marcy.
I love Marcy.
The
She's
fact that
great.
she's in it,
Yeah.
she's
Also,
just
yeah, I don't know. I liked her like helping a little bit. Like her helping Velma with the clues is nice. Like I like that kind of dynamic where they're both smart, but like Marcy's kind of shy, and like Velma's like more outgoing. I like that. I think that's kind of like a fun dynamic. It's
she
kind of
had like the biggest redemption arc.
Yeah, I
Uh,
yeah, I love Marcy and Velma. I fucking we're yeah. Anyways, so I guess that's that. Are you ready for the next episode?
yes, and the baby clown. Let's go.
Fuck the baby clown. Wait. Oh god.
Wow.
Anyways, this episode, this next one, I think is fucking awesome, and I really love it. This is episode 30 or episode 4, season 2, Web of the Dreamweaver. In this episode, well, first thing that happens is that Marcy is fired from the team, but she's still working with Mr. E. Ooh, and then the team try to solve a mystery about people in their dreams being attacked by an elf guy, and them destroying something they love, and one of the people is Sheriff Bronson Stone, so the gang come in to help with that. I think this episode is really fucking good. I really liked the villain. Like, he was like cool and charming. He's like a little creepy, and like because it was a dream episode, they could go into his realm and like he could cast spells. So it was really intensive, and like I don't know, like it was just so creative. Like them MC Eschering up like the walls was really fun, and I also just really liked the story. I think it was so like personal that like it was like the sheriff who the kids know is like being attacked and potentially so they're gonna help him. And also I think like nothing stays too long or too short on anything. The pacing is just right. And like also this episode is like pretty funny. Like there's an episode there's a there's a line that's I think it's from Sheriff, and he says, "You don't need to steal something to be a thief." Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what else. I'm trying to see what else I wrote here. Yeah. 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 I think it's just a really funny episode, and yeah, it's decently captivating. What did you think of this episode, Dom?
Okay, not to justify the guy's actions
But
on why he did it, but as a huge D&D nerd and how much I love my characters, understandable.
cat.
I
Okay, note
uh,
to self: never play D&D with Dom. Just kidding, just kidding. That would be fun playing D&D with you.
uh, I love on a spiel, but I love D&D, and I
Same.
I did when one of my characters died. I did cry a little bit.
Yeah,
He was brought back to life, but still, it hurts.
yeah. I remember like I was playing a campaign and like one of my friends' characters died, and like I remember like my character trying to cast healing word on him, and just like it wasn't working, and he was brought back, and it was still just sad, and yeah. Anyways, I think this episode is really good. I think also I also love the ending of this episode because it has a big reveal, which is that Brad Childs and Judy Reeves, who are Fred's mom and dad, are back in his life, and it's I don't know, like that's just like such a big moment. And also Mr. E trying to talk to Velma, threatening her, and like she fucking hangs up on him like a boss. I fucking love that. Velma is, I think Velma is my second favorite. No, she's my favorite member of the gang for sure. Like, I in the first season she had her unbearable moments, but she was just like she like grew as a person in this like season. She was like she learned to be vulnerable and to like accept that like she can't control everything and not everything has an easy answer to it through like science, and like I don't know, she just learns to trust her friends, and I think that's really beautiful. And I think that she's just like a really tough badass character.
Yeah, I think out of like all the members, she matured the most.
Yeah, I think for sure. I'd s- I think all of them did grow. I think like at least a little bit. Daphne like learned to accept Fred for who he is, and like also like at least partially she learned to like love herself more. Uh, at least like a little bit. Fred definitely grew. He showed vulnerability, and he uh, f- found like comfort in his friends. And Shaggy and Scooby are like so brave in this, especially in this season. Like, there's moments where like they're being chased by monsters, and like Shaggy will like drive the mystery machine and like be like get in with the gang. Like he's a fucking hero. I love Shaggy. Also, him being a D&D nerd is so funny in this episode. Magic missile.
Relatable. I love it.
Yeah,
Scooby's my favorite, but Shaggy second, and then Boma.
yeah.
But
Uh, is Fred your fourth?
he's kind of. Yeah, I do like Fred a little bit more than Daphne. I will
Same.
say he
I
just
I think Fred. I mean, Fred is charming
ah
and like he's really loving, and again he has those vulnerable moments which are really nice. I think like he does have his creepy moments, and he is like a little bit of like a bit of a one note character sometimes, but I love him still.
mhm.
I'd say he's my second favorite, and then it's Shaggy, Scooby, and then Daphne.
Yeah, sorry Daphne, but
Daphne, you're not bad, but I think you can improve, honey. Uh, anyways,
honestly, nice
yeah,
episode. I liked it.
yeah, it was a really good episode. I'd personally put this at the bottom of S. I just think it was a really good episode.
Yeah, it was pretty scary, but I
Yeah, I love the visuals, and also the villain. He was like charming. I mean, he was like evil David Bowie, but yeah, like I loved him. He was so fucking good. Polymorph. Oh, he was so fruity. Uh, yeah. Yeah, I love this episode. I'd put it again bottom of S tier.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Uh, I guess if that's all we gotta say about that, then it's time for the Hodag of Horror. So in this episode, Shaggy and Scooby, there's an attraction that comes to town. A guy with a bunch of curios, as he calls it, and one of them is the Hodag, and the Hodag comes to life and starts stealing things from people, and the gang have to solve it. I'd say this episode was good. It was a good episode. I think uh, lore wise, what happens is really, really great. Like, they get the fourth piece from a cheese wheel, which is pretty cool. Um, let's see. And then also at the end, Pericles brings together the other old Mystery Inc. members to hatch up a plan, and I think that's really good. Uh, it's nice to see that like Brad and Judy are just in this episode casually. I think it's nice. It's like, oh yeah, they just show up, and they were former trap stars, and uh, I don't know. I thought it was cute. And
And
yeah,
Scooby falls in love.
yeah, he falls in love with Nova, which is the. I mean, good for him. He deserves someone that he loves. Yeah, like I don't know, I don't mind that. I just kind of give like Shaggy some perspective on Velma, I guess.
Oh, true.
Yeah, but yeah,
Oh,
but yeah, Shaggy has a. I'm sorry, Scooby has a girlfriend, Nova. I mean, she's just a dog. She's not a character. Well, kind of. We're gonna get into that later. But Velma. Sorry. Yeah. So this episode, it was okay. I think again there were some parts I really liked, like the lore. The villain I thought was really cool. Like I liked how animalistic he was and how he was like small. He was small, but he was threatening. He just had like a weird tongue and like glowing eyes. I think it's based off of cryptid, and it shows that like I don't know, it's just cool, and also the twist that it was a monkey was actually pretty fun.
I Yeah, I like how it's just like it's literally just the monkey causing all this havoc.
Yeah, and then it's the like the British guy is like my monkey. Uh, yeah, I'd say where this episode falters is like the comedy. Like it's not really that funny. I think there was one joke that made me chuckle, which was cheese. Yeah, and then I think the story and the pacing were like a little rough around the edges. Uh, like just having a monster steal shit. It's like okay, I guess it steals from Daphne's sister, so the gang technically has a good enough reason to investigate, beside it just being a mystery. But uh, yeah, some things just feel a little too like drawn out, like them like having the cheese scene in the Blake's family home, and other uh, other scenes like them being at like the curio camp for too long.
Yeah, the monster did look pretty cool. I feel like they could have done more
Yeah, I think
with it.
honestly, I think like if it had like if it had spikes, like more spikes that actually were sharp, I think that would have
Oh,
been cool.
yes.
Yeah.
Because the monster is so cool. I wanted more of it.
Mm-hmm. I I liked it for what it was. I think it's a very okay episode. I'd put it at like not the bottom, but like the near bottom of C tier. That's where I'd put it. I'd put it at like I put it below Shrieking Madness. Uh yeah. I like this episode. I think there's some really good moments to it. Uh like like I think my favorite moment was definitely the like the weird guy with the curios being like the cheese. It spoke to me. Yeah. Also, the cheese was made by Spanish monks apparently, which is important for the lore later. It's a surprise tool. But yeah, I'd put it at like low C. I think it's good, but like not great.
Yeah, it's not my favorite,
Sorry,
but I wouldn't
low
skip
B.
over it
My
either.
sorry, yeah, low B. But yeah, I think it's watchable. It's more watchable than some of the other things from season one, like Attack of the Headless Horror or um, the the Secret of the Ghost Rig.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think this episode definitely could have done more, but yeah, uh,
Cause like that little van was like full of like cool stuff.
yeah.
But
Honestly, honestly, that would have been cool. Like if everything came to life and it was like the master roboticist that did it or something, that would have been cool. If, like it's like the Hodag and then other like cryptids. Like if it was called Cryptids Attack, that would be fucking cool.
like they had so much stuff they put into that one little van, and
Yeah, and at one point they use it.
ah,
Like they're attacked by the Hodag, and then they have a shield that they use.
mhm.
Yeah, uh, yeah, definitely could have done more. But I think for what it was all right. And now the gang has two planspheric disc pieces. So hey, lore's coming along pretty well. Uh, anyways, yeah, overall, uh, it has some nice. I think the lore is what's really tying it together. If there was no lore, then I would have said that this episode was worse. But because it has the old gang returning and the fourth piece, that like it's like worth the wash.
Mhm.
Yeah. You ready to move on to the next episode?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. This episode is episode 32 or episode 4, season 2. Uh, sorry, not episode 4, episode 5, season 2. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. I'm confuzzled. Uh,
Wait.
wait a minute. Episode 1, 2. So that's 1. All right. The yeah. Uh, episode 5, season 2. Yes. Wait. Fuck.
Six.
Episode 6. You're right. It's I'm bad at counting. I'm tired. Like I just watched the finale earlier, so like my mind is broken. Uh, episode 6 of season 2, Art of Darkness. Okay.
Woo!
Okay. So this episode has the gang. Uh, Also, in the previous episode, they got like their own place at the police station. It was technically a storage closet, but hey, they have an official room now, and they they have a new mystery on their hands, which is that an art sculpture turned someone into a gold statue, and this art sculpture is made by Randy Warsaw, good name there, and yeah, that then the gang just have to solve it, and I think it's really uh, okay. This episode has some good qualities. Like I think the villain is amazing. Like I think it looks so cool. All the different trash like coming together to make a monster is really cool. It's not scary, but I just think it's intense, and like the way that it has different powers because of the different trash pieces it has, like the hook claw that it has, and like the mouth that's made of the garbage truck is really fun. I think it's just a really fun monster, and I also do I like some of the comedy in this episode. There's some really funny parts, like Randy Warsaw just being like, "And you are beef." It's yeah. Uh, Also, Cassidy comes back on the radio warning that there's some, there's evil afoot in Crystal Cove, and also I think all this is the episode that has this is the episode that has Mr. E and Professor Pericles talk, isn't it? I'm pretty sure.
Uh,
All right, hold on. Uh, let's see.
mayhaps.
Yeah, I'm looking through my notes right now. Yeah, yeah. Uh, I'm trying to look right now. Uh, okay. Yeah, okay. So apparently not. Never mind. I guess it's not here. Uh, yeah. Also, Cassidy talking to Fred's parents is interesting at like the art museum, just being like, stay away from Fred, showing that maybe they're not as good as they seem. Yeah. Also, Daphne being the only competent one in this episode is kind of funny. She's like, she's not with Randy Warsaw because he insulted her. She's like, fuck this guy. And honestly, I kind of don't like what Randy Warsaw. He's just kind of an asshole.
I
Like,
mean, he is based off Andy Warhol, and
yeah, he's
TBH, they did his character very well.
yeah
No one really
yeah it works for what it is,
Anyways,
but I just don't like him as a person. Uh,
he does kind of suck IRL, so.
yeah. Yeah, but yeah. Yeah, yeah, and there's some funny lines like I look hot blurry from Velma. But yeah, I think the story itself is just kind of like whatever. Like I don't care about this guy or his art project coming to life, and the the pacing is okay, but some things go on a little longer. Like Daphne trailing like the guy who's selling like replicas, and I don't know. I just wanted more. I think the villain's the best part of this episode for sure. If this was a villain's ranking, it would go an S, but this is not. I yeah. Do you have any thoughts on this episode you want to get out there?
Uh, no, I think you did it pretty well. Like the monster is pretty cool, the little junk per se.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was just like a filler episode.
Yeah, it definitely was.
So,
It was the lore in this episode is basically, hey, things are coming, get ready.
it's just saying right
Yeah.
around the corner, but not
Y-
this episode, but
yeah. Not this episode, but maybe the next one. Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it was okay though.
Yeah. There you go, kiddo. Here's a sprinkle of lore, kiddo. I honestly, I'd put this. Honestly, okay, I'm gonna move the Hodag up a little bit to hereish. I think it is better than some of them. Just thinking about it, and then Art of Darkness, it's not as good as Shrieking Madness. I think it's in low B tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine, and I like the villain a lot. Also, the villain's plans was kind of interesting. I love how he was just like he was a fucking he was a European man turned emo boy.
Yeah, I don't know why he went along with it for so long. Like he couldn't he not have just left? I
Yeah, probably. What are you gonna do? All right, well that's that, and then yeah, that's I guess that's that, and now we move on to the next episode. I think that okay, realizing now, looking at all the rankings, I think one problem I have with this episode, the first like part, like I'd say the first third is like really loaded with like some bullshit, like episodes that are just kind of boring. Yeah, like hold on, I'm gonna look. I'd say like uh I'd say once it gets to night terrors, things are like a lot more consistent after that and are like mostly pretty good.
Mm.
Yeah, I think like this episode definitely has like it's it's more consistent, but that also means there's more meh episodes to it.
Oh,
Yeah. Uh let's see. Anyways, episode 33 or episode 7, season 2, Gathering Gloom. Uh okay. I didn't like this episode that much. Uh okay. I think okay, just to talk about positives out the way. I think it is decently
uh-huh.
funny. Like the German lady being like, "What a nice polite talking dog," and Fred being like, "That's villain profiling. We don't do that to people." Is so, like that's really funny, and the ending where the villain is unmasked and revealed and says, "If it weren't for the sheriff, it is American style barbecue." Uh,
I I mean overall, the episode wasn't good, but I did like little Velma and Scooby as
yeah, I
well.
think that was one of
That
the best parts of it
that
for
that
sure.
saved it. It saved it.
I think it saved it from being like really terrible. I think this episode's just kind of like very like again, it's just mid. It's very mediocre. I I like I again I like some of the comedy. The scene where Mr. E remembers getting Pericles is like really sweet and kind of sad because like it's like oh that was then, this is now. And also the scene where they team up and then yeah, this is where Cassidy's like on the radio and is like watch out for any avians out there, and I think that's nice. Besides that, the villain is really stupid because it just looks like a guy. Like he has big teeth, but he's just a guy. Like he's not like a monstrous ghoul with like white eyes and like drool coming off him. He's just a man who is balding. That's what the villain looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, he He's like a balding man. That's it. The I think the plot, like the story and the pacing is really like not as good as it could be. Like the German ladies are it takes too much
That,
fucking time. Like if it
that's
like
kind of weird.
if it popped in like every so often, like here's a little joke and then it's like back to the serious stuff, I'd understand that, but it's like full minutes is just hey, what are the boys and Daphne doing with the German ladies? Like Daphne's eating a bunch of chocolate, which that was so unfunny. I really didn't like her being characterized like that in this episode. Uh,
Yeah.
and and then like I don't know, the the mom just being like, "Here's some meatballs for my boys," and it's it just takes up too much time. It's like I don't know if it was like a few houses of like it was like 1 minute each house and it was like oh well, we're gonna see the nice German ladies and then we see the weird French people or something. I mean that would have not been great, but still that would have been like variation. It's just the same joke. It's like oh these German people are nice actually and they're not the villain. Like that's it. That's the only joke with them. Like that's where the comedy falters. And also yeah it just takes too long and yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
glad
maybe
when
if
the
they
episode
only.
ends.
Yeah, maybe if they only focus, like if they did like maybe 1 or 2 minute in the house and then Velma and Scooby Doo take over
Yeah, like if it
and
was
they have
like
their whole little
yeah, if it was one to
show,
2 minutes in total, and then it was like a Velma and Scooby episode, yeah, that would have been actually really nice. Like
you
if Scooby
know?
was there like the first half of the episode, and then on the second half he was like, "I actually don't like it. I want to help you solve the mystery." That would have been cute. And I think there's like cute moments between them, like in the first season when like Velma sacrifices the chance to get with Shaggy again to save Scooby. Like that's so sweet. But yeah, yeah, it's not an episode I rewatch. I think it's not as bad as some of the season one episodes. I think it's better than Secret Serum, Secret of the Ghost Rig, and I'd say it's worse than the Creeping Creatures personally, because like that was an interesting location. This is just kind of like it's just the graveyard, which has been done before in the series, and then German House, which isn't really that interesting.
Yeah, they just kind of threw it in there.
Yeah. Seeing Mr. E on the street confront Velma was really weird, though. Again, it's just weird to see him out and about. Because he's just like evil CEO behind the computer. Uh,
Like, huh, I didn't know he could leave.
yeah. But yeah, he does, and also the yeah again him and Pericles teaming up like oh that's gonna lead to disaster. But yeah, overall not an episode to rewatch. Don't watch this one.
Yeah, you
It,
can skip a few parts.
you can skip yeah you can skip like 20 minutes of it. Yeah okay. Next up is oh yeah anything else you want to say before we move on or like
uh, Again, I hate how they did Daphne. They did
yeah,
her dirty,
they did
but
her so
that
bad. The joke with Daphne in this episode is that she is like, the German people are like, "Oh, we made some chocolate for you," and then she like, Daphne goes crazy for chocolate, and it's just kind of like, it just kind of feels like the joke is bitches be crazy sometimes. Like, don't feed your women chocolate, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. And then a Daphne gets like pimply and gross. Like it's just like don't do that.
yeah, I feel like they were just. This was just an episode to make fun of her. I
Yeah,
did not like it.
I I think yeah. Honestly, like a better deconstruction of her is like if she went to like a relationship therapist and the relationship therapist is like you manage all of your opinions and your whole life on Fred. What do you want to do with your life? Like that would have been funny. Like and like she does her own thing and like I don't know becomes a good character. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
she's okay, but yeah. Overall, yeah, don't watch this episode. It's not worth it. Let's see. Uh, episode 34. or season 2, episode 8, because I remember the numbers correctly this time, uh, is Night on Haunted Mountain. And
Yes.
I really like this episode a lot. I don't think it's as good as like some of the other episodes, but it's still very good and is like definitely a point where the this season picks up again. So the basic plot is that the two jock characters lose a soccer ball uh, on on the mountain, and then Fred, being a fucking idiot, hearing about it and hearing about how they got attacked by monsters, like, we gotta go check it out, gang. And so they do, and they get attacked by the Dark Lilith, all while they go inside a haunted ship, and they find the fifth piece of the planispheric disc, as well as a, a a journal by the conquistadors who traveled there and found the crystal sarcophagus. And it's just like so much lore, which is really good. I think the lore is the best part of this episode, where like they continue the story, and even just like the characters' emotional stories, where the Lilith is revealed to be Marcy working with E, and Velma convinces her not to do it, and like she gets the third piece, and it's just a really sad and sweet scene. Uh, it's just like, we love the lesbians, and then the ghost, the ghost of the the ghost of the conquistador man saying a Nibiru. What does it mean? We're gonna have to find out. But yeah, that's the plot, and I think this episode's really good. I think the story is pretty good. I think there's a lot of like nice moments, like them like going down the ship at the end is really good, and like I like the character Handsome Jimmy. I think he's really funny. Like, I love how deep his voice is. Uh, the pacing is pretty good. I'd say like they spend a little bit too much time at like the weirdos like next to the mountain, but besides that, like I think like everything is timed well, and the villain is really good. She's
She looks badass.
she looks badass as hell. She got fucking, like, she's threatening, and I don't know, it's just like has a cool
I love her
presence.
design.
Yeah, I love her design. Don't call her hot. She is technically a teenager. Don't do that, audience. Uh, yeah, but anyways, yeah, the costume itself is great. Uh, honestly, I think I saw fan art one time of like Marcy being in the costume and holding Velma, and then Velma like being blushy. It's like, it's really cute.
Oh.
It's really cute fan art. But yeah, I really like this episode. I'd say the one part where it falters is like comedy. It's not as funny as other episodes, but I think it's well worth it, because like, at least for me in this series, if like an episode has other good points, I'm okay with it not being a comedy focused episode. Like, and there are some decent jokes still. Like there's like a really real moment between like the two jocks, where like one of them's like, "Man, that hurt my feelings. Don't say that." And the other one's like, "I'm sorry, man." And then the first jock is like, "I don't have feelings, you idiot." Hi, I'm Wax. Good to see you, bud. Yeah. What were your thoughts about this episode, Dom? What are you thinking?
uh, this is. I don't know if I would say this is like S tier, but very high A.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I do love the ship, and I do love Marcy's design in here,
Mm-hmm.
and Lord does get dropped a lot.
Yes.
So, high A, high A. I would very much watch this at least another three times.
Yes. I
I
I
do
would
like it.
I personally, I think it's like, it's not the best with certain things. Like, I do really like the villain and the story and the pacing. I think it's not perfect. It's like really good though. I'd put this personally at like low A, but that does not diminish its quality. I think subjectively, like, sorry, objectively it's high A. I think subjectively a little bit for me it's like a little bit lower A. Still really good. It's definitely worth the rewatch. I think it's like so much fun, and also Fred detrapping the ship is really nice. Like, it's nice to see that like Fred is not just the boring leader. Like, he has like, I don't know, he has skills, and like he's good with traps, and that helps a lot.
He's back in his good headspace.
Yeah. Now that he has Daphne back, I think I think like in certain episodes he's good about respecting distance, which is nice, but like other times it's like, uh, yeah. Also, I like the joke where like Shaggy and Scooby are hiding behind the weirdly shaped cactuses. Yeah. Also, yeah, music is very nice in this scene.
Mm.
Also, Shaggy and Scooby steer the fucking ship. That's awesome. Like, I love that about them. Good for them. Yeah. Uh. Also, the lesbian line of hard girl to fool V. Like, mm,
Oh.
I love those lesbians so much. All right. Is that everything you have to say about this one?
Yeah, guys, make sure to go watch.
Yeah, go watch the show. Even if after the stream, go watch it. It's worth it. And like, also, this is a really good show where if you watch it the second time around, you can see all the details. We love
Yeah,
it.
I missed a whole lot.
Yeah, like
Didn't realize.
yeah, like even in the first season, like in the very first episode of the first season, Velma is like giving a tour to like some randos, and she says like, then the conquistadors came and the monks, and it's like this is lore important stuff actually. And they just drop it in you so casually. Yeah, but yeah, that's that. You ready on for the next episode?
Yes.
All right. Episode 35, or episode season 2, episode 9. Sorry, season 2, episode 9. Grim Judgment. Okay. I'd say this
Oh.
episode is low B tier.
Uh, yeah. Y-
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It
Um,
was kind of weird, but.
it was kind of weird. Okay. Talk about the good points, though. Gotta get the good out of the way first.
Uh-huh.
I think comedy wise, this episode is, like, there are some really funny, like, scenes in it. Like, uh, like the two teens yelling, being like, "How can we make stupid decisions for the rest of our life while you're making noise?" Like that was really funny. And then Judge Grimm being like, "You shall be judged, except you. You are pure." And going to Velma and her just not taking any of that bullshit is so funny. Uh, yeah, and then the I think the villain himself is okay. Like I like his design a lot, and he's voiced by Clancy Brown, otherwise known as Mr. Krabs.
What?
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Oh,
He also
no
voices
wonder.
Lex Luthor in certain DC media, like the Superman animated show and Justice League.
Hmm.
Yeah. Uh, yes, love Clancy Brown. He's very good. He let's see. But yeah, he's the villain. And then there's some really nice moments like Mayor Nettles and Bronson Stone trying to go on a date secretly, which I have to question this now. Like, okay, so the sheriff works for the mayor, correct?
Yeah.
So this is kind of weird.
There's probably some sort of rule or something. But I maybe as mayor she can get rid of said rule. But
That's still bad.
yeah,
Like,
there is.
yeah. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. That's just weird. Like, I don't know. Uh, but yeah, ignoring that, it's weird, but they're both two consenting adults, so it's technically in quotes there fine. Uh, yeah. Let's see. It's nice to see Brad and Judy help with the trap. That was a nice scene. I really liked how they helped and how like Fred is like really happy that they're back in his life, which is gonna be really sad later on. Oh boy. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah,
That,
it's
that
sweet. It's sweet at the time, and
er,
Yeah, and then lore wise, like not really much happens in this episode. Uh, there's Cassidy watching at the end, which is like she's watching out for Brad and Judy, which is nice. Again, reminder of things to come. Uh, and like yeah, uh, and and let's see one last positive thing I put in my notes was the Scooby fake out where he's wearing Daphne's wig. Yeah, that shit was funny. Besides that, I think
Uh,
things kind of dragged in this episode. You sound dis-
yeah,
you sound disappointed.
uh, it's not one of my favorites.
No, it's not. It has good moments, but it's just kind of there.
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the story itself is kind of boring. Where it's like Grim Judgment is, Judge Grim is like, oh, judging all the slutty women, and then the football players come in at the last second to save them. I wonder who Judge Grim is. I wonder if it's the two football
Yeah.
players. Yeah, that's kind of a funny plot where like they're just dressing up as monsters to get women, but like at the same time, like it just is kind of boring. Like if this was like if in like some Scooby Doo media, it'll be like, oh, this person's the villain, and then like another version of the villain comes by. And it's a different person, Like in What's New Scooby Doo, there's an episode with the Scooby Snack Monster, and like at first it's like one woman and she's trying to like steal the recipe, but then it turns out to be the vice president, and she's trying to protect the secrets of the company. Like it could have worked as that, where if like the first Grim Judgment was the two idiots trying to get girls, and then the next one was like actually someone else. Like that would have been funny as like a gag.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been really funny. And then it's like, we just wanted to get girls, man. And then Velma being like, and you failed. Yeah, but yeah, this episode is fine. It's just kind of filler. It's like more of like it's just things to come. And also I think this is the episode where Fred is like pushing Daphne. It's like, let's go on a practice date, and it's kind of weird. It's like, you gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta be less pushy, Fred, buddy. In a way, they kind of reverse roles almost, where like Fred is the pushy one, and like obviously trying to be flirtatious, and then Daphne is like not doing it for different reasons. But yeah, it's still not great. It's it's a fine episode. I'd put this near the bottom of B tier. I'd put this like below the Legend of Alice May. It's better than the sec. It's better than the second The Night the Clown Cried. I think
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely better than that. But yeah, it's low B. Like I can rewatch it, but I don't usually go for it.
Like I'll do it, but no, yeah.
Damn.
It's not that bad. It's okay.
It's okay. It's worth it. There's some really good things. Like there are again some really funny jokes in this episode, like Scooby dressed as Daphne, and like the I don't know, just other stuff that they find. Uh yeah. I like the thespian guy that they put in. He's just like a weird side character, but I really like him. Super Shaggy 1999. I like the series, but damn was it dark. Oh my god, guys, it's the Super Shaggy
Oh
1999.
my god.
Got Mr. Miss Mixes Super Shaggy. It's an honor to have you here. Also, yes, Max, love Clancy Brown, love the Lesbians Gang, yes. But yeah, Super Shaggy's here. Everybody, it's Super Shaggy. I'm pinning this comment. Oh my god, guys, we need to pin this comment. All right, we like this is the Super Shaggy 1999. The the best Super Shaggy. Glad you dropped in. Yeah, thank you so much. It's an honor to have you in, uh, sir, ma'am, non-binary person. Hi, such a big fan. I loved you in Cyber Chase the video game. You were the best Super Shag.
Oh, I love that's probably like my favorite Scooby movie.
I
Cyber Chase.
It's a guilty pleasure, but I think that some parts definitely aged, like how stupid the villain is.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I'd love to review the other Scooby stuff with you. I think that would be fun. But yeah, that obviously take much longer because each movie is like 2 hours.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
for
like
sure.
yeah, on average at least. Anyways, and that's that. That's Grim Judgment. Next up is one of my favorite episodes from this whole series, Night Terrors. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, this is the
yes,
this is the one where they go to the Burlington Mansion.
yes.
Yes. Okay. So this episode, the basic plot is that the gang are going on winter vacation, and also I gotta say, like, this is nice that this gang, like the gang in this episode, they're just like back to status quo. It's very nice to have that. Anyways, but they go to Burlington Mansion for a vacation. It wasn't their first choice, but it was the only road that wasn't locked, and go they go up and they experience many terrors at the Burlington Mansion, uh, from the Terror Wood. Uh, Super Shag, thanks for the follow, buddy. Uh, yeah, the series was dark. I don't know if I can say spoilers. We're talking about the whole series, so yeah.
Yeah,
Right now we're on Night Terrors, which is the episode with like the wolf masked villain. But yeah, yeah, they experience terrors from the Terror Wood, and honestly, much like the Dreamscapers episode. This episode is really creative visually. Each encounter is different. Like at first it's like the villainous chef, and then it's the like the orangutan statue, the Medusa. Like it's it's really interesting the amount of visual variety in this episode, and I also really love like each segment didn't feel too long. Uh, like every segment felt like it was the right amount of time. Uh, the the villain like was pretty decently creepy as well as the other horrors that went on. And lore wise, it reveals a lot, like how there like even before Mystery Incorporated 1.0, there was the Burlington Mystery Gang with their orangutan, as well as pictures of other four peoples and an animal, and there is a book thrown at the end, which is the it gives a bunch of secrets, and also things happening before, uh, and yeah. Also, uh, Cassidy hanging up a bunch of pictures on Velma's wall. That happens, and yeah,
he's
it's
right here. Don't
yeah.
worry.
Yeah. The book is a book of alchemy, which is basically all about the planispheric disc, and yeah, the I think this episode's really fucking good. I'd say the few points where it falters is like it's not as funny, but still pretty decently funny, and that uh, the story itself is like a little contrived, but there's still a lot of entertaining moments, and I also personally didn't really like the chef. At least they kind of cover their tracks because they like the joke with him is like, yes, throwing meat is a sign of danger in his unspecified culture. It's like they know Scooby Doo gets racist, so they just don't name anybody. They're like, he's just an unspecified immigrant. That's all. From where? I couldn't tell you. It's like, yeah, good catch, all assholes. But I think this episode's really good. I really like a lot of the things. Like there are some really funny lines, like the fucking there's there's a really funny line that's just like good enough for me. I forget who says it, but yeah, that made me happy. And yeah, do you have any notes on this? You want anything you want to bring up?
This is one of my top favorites.
Yes, for
Please go
sure.
watch it.
For sure,
Uh,
for sure, for sure.
I would like to spend 2 weeks in that library just so I can check it.
With
I'm
Velma.
so new. I I want to read the books and stuff. That the little library looks so cool. I wish they did a little bit more digging, but only because I'm nosy and I want to know what's in every single book in there. It's like
Yeah.
Velma's mom's like shop. I would be in there like every other day if
You'd
I
be
could.
in there for another reason too. Don't kid yourself.
You're right. I
Yeah.
would definitely apply for a job. I hope
Hmm.
she's hiring.
Yeah. It did look like I'd like to read all of them too. I believe it was the Gates of Doom episode. All right. Okay. But yeah, they pulled they do kill people in this series, which is nice. God, I yeah. Velma's mom is, I don't know why she's not on MILF list. She's really fucking hot. Yeah, she's probably into essential oils, but like that's fine. That's fine. I can fix her. Um,
Fixer.
all right. I guess some sour points in this episode, story wise, is like they're Shaggy and Scooby see a monster, right? They see the monster chef, and then like the gang is like. That doesn't sound realistic, even though they deal with monsters all the fucking time. And like, they go to the kitchen anyway. They're like, see, there's no monster. Like, they don't believe them. They're not like, hey, let's go search for this monster. Hey, let's look for clues of this monster. It's just like, yeah. They do. Paris supports killing people. Only when necessary. Only when necessary. But yeah, like, I hate that trope in like some Scooby Doo series where it's like, there's no such thing as monsters. You guys didn't see anything. It's like, bro, why the fuck would they tell you that if they didn't see some fucking weirdo?
Like that's your whole job.
Yeah. Also the Shaggy kissing Daphne bit. So
Oh,
so basically
yeah.
the Terror Wood makes you hallucinate. That's the whole plot of the episode. That like the owner of the library wants to close it down, so he scares the guest room ever appearing, so that no one can, so that no one can enter it again, so he can go somewhere warm. Best kiss ever, worst kiss ever. I'm sorry, my friend. If you ship Daphne and Shaggy, that's fine. You live your life. In this show, I don't ship it, and I fucking like. It makes sense that the Terrorwood would do something like that. So like, there's like a hallucination of like, like, or like the wood makes Shaggy think he's Fred, and then makes Daphne think that he's also Fred, and even though Fred's really outside helping Scooby, so what's happening? And yeah, it's Shaggy kissing Daphne, and it's gross, and and Shaggy like lingers on. He's like, it was like kissing an angel, man. And it's like, shut the fuck up, bro. I'm sorry. I just really don't like it. It's really weird, and like, thankfully it's never brought up again. But I mean, technically Daphne's single, so it's fine. But like, ugh. um,
Yeah, I feel like it was unnecessary, but
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Look, I think Shaggy is a demisexual king, a demi-romantic king. That's my opinion on him.
Mm,
Like he can have girlfriends, but it's just like not like usually a thing for him.
One of my headcanons for the longest time was that they're all dating each other.
I
Like
mean,
poly.
yeah, yeah. Also, again, this is going way back to the Art of Darkness episode, but the line "consume me" is like so vor coded. Yeah. Anyways, I really made me take a double take seeing that for the first time. It was so yucky. Honestly, I think this is my like perfect vision for romance of the series, which is that Fred and Daphne are together. Velma has a lesbian date, and then Shaggy has no one because he's on the aromantic spectrum, and all he needs is Scooby. And Scooby can maybe have a dog girlfriend. That's my ideal for them.
Well, I think it was in season one. Freddy said the only people who can call me like what, Freddy or something?
are people I'm dating, and then later in
Yeah,
that season, Shaggy's like, "Freddy, hold on,"
right? It's
and then Freddy also being like,
what
"When we
the
all move in together."
right?
Yeah, I just think he's just an innocent boy. He's just a boy who needs to turn into a man. That's all. All right. Anyways, this
Yeah,
episode is really good.
watch it.
Go watch it. I would put this at the. I put this at like. I think like it's not as good as Howl of the Fright Hound, but like it's damn close. It's definitely above Web of the Dreamweaver.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like back of A, but it's really good. Uh, I would have Crystal if she didn't leave me to go to space. Oh, is
Oh,
that?
yeah. Oh, I really like that movie too.
Uh,
Ah.
oh, oh, that was her name. For a second, I thought that Super Shaggy was talking about Star Fox. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, no, but yeah, I think I like Crystal. I think Crystal. I think Shaggy definitely having like a hippie girlfriend is nice. Honestly, have some gay rep. I feel like Shaggy is pansexual. Give him like a non-binary twink partner.
Ooh.
Like, I feel like that would be good. Just like two skinny bitches dating. Crystal from Starbucks is my girlfriend. Wax, buddy, you are not Fox McCloud. You are not Fox McCloud, my man. You are, you are not Fox McCloud. All right. All right. Anyways, I guess that's that. And you ready to move on to the next episode?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm more like Peppy. Peppy actually canonically gets a family in Star Fox. Like he becomes a dad and he's like married to like a pink frog lady. It's Star Fox is weird. So is Scooby Doo. Anyways, okay, the Midnight Zone. This is also in the previous episode. There was like somewhat of an established theme of like destiny and whether things will happen again, which is like a recurring thing for this series, which is like destiny. This has all happened before. Like, is your autonomy even your own? Like, and like, you know, the new generation like rising up and not doing the same mistakes as the old ones. Like, I think those are some of the themes of this series, and it's really nice, honestly. There's what's her face from Abracadabra do, which had a crush on Shaggy. It was like Velma's cousin or something. Like,
Oh, yeah. I was thinking that when we were talking about the night terrors, it because she was also introduced in like a library or something.
yeah, they're at like a
That's
Camelot
immediately what I
castle.
thought of. Yeah, we all just share one brain cell. We all think about
Hmm. Oh gosh. Okay. Alrighty. So next is the Midnight Zone. In this episode, the gang meet up with Cassidy as she's being attacked by German murder robots, and they go underwater to like the deep sunken part of Crystal Cove where towns were, and they find Pericles' secret base where he's trying to find the sixth piece, and he does. And Cassidy sacrifices her own life to save the gang, and yeah,
Yeah.
this I think this episode was pretty good. It was pretty good. I think there was some really good moments, like the lore that happens where like uh Pericles like met one of the members of the benevolent lodge of mystery when she was looking for the piece. I think that was interesting lore. They found, the next piece. Angel is dead, which is like really stunning. And also there's some like nice moments where like Angel says to Daphne like uh uh no, not no, I'm thinking Angel Dynamite Cassie Williams, not Hot Dog Water. I'm not talking about Marcy right now. Uh yeah, Marcy has a thing for Velma, and Velma has a thing for her too. But anyways, Cassie just being like, like, don't give up on your chance now, because like she had a thing for Ricky Owens, Mr. E, and now that's gone. And honestly, I would have loved to see that. That would have been so cute.
Yeah, I get so sad thinking about it because I feel like
She went out like a
Ah,
hero. Like Angel, for as much as she lied, she went out like a hero, which I think is like true to her character.
yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, it is sad, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, let's see. Other good things that happened, like there's some weird moments in this episode, like weird good and weird bad. Like there's the the baby robots that they encounter, which don't need to exist for any reason. Let's see. There's Skipper like saving the gang from the German robot was pretty fun. I like Skipper a lot, so it's nice to see him in this episode.
Skipper's back.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
yeah. The let's see. There was I'm trying to think of like other things that happened. There's the two kids that were kind of weird. I didn't really like them that much, or they're Seal Scooby. They were just kind of a plot device. Uh, yeah, comedy in this episode wasn't great. I did like the story, and like pacing wise, it was pretty good. Like I think there's too much time spent on the kids, but besides that, it was like fairly evened up. Uh, and
Oh, oh, the oh,
yeah,
excuse me. Sorry, my cat. Uh,
wait,
the 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 corpse in the chair.
yes, yeah, that was creepy, and also her saying
Uh,
Nibiru.
another ghost come alive.
Uh, no, that was just a hologram of her face.
Oh, I keep thinking it's like a ghost.
Yeah,
I was
no,
like,
that was what Pericles wanted to set it up as, but no, it was just a
ah,
hologram.
well, he got
She,
me too, I guess.
her ghost does say Nibiru at the kids, which dead people saying Nibiru is nothing new for them. But yeah, there's a okay, there's I'm trying to see. Also, when I was like when the sub was about to be destroyed, the submarine, I was thinking, do you know that meme that's like two kids gonna die tonight?
What?
Oh, you don't know that meme? Yeah, it was very like, it was like it was like kind of a thing in like 2016. Like it was like two kids gonna die tonight. It was really fun. Anyways, I think this episode was like pretty decent. I really liked the like visuals of them being underwater and like them going through the base was pretty intense. Like it wasn't scary and like there wasn't really much of a mystery, but I liked it.
I love any underwater scene, and I love how they did the what is it? A part of Crystal Cove or something? A
Yeah, it was
city
it was it was
underwater?
part of Crystal Cove had sunken into the water.
I love that. I would have personally, I would have checked all the houses and stuff, only because I feel like that would be really cool.
I mean, they did check the cupboards and then the robots were in them, so
Yeah,
yeah. Uh yeah.
I
Anyways,
just want to know more.
true. Fair. All right. Um I'd put this episode in I'd say like mid to B tier. I'd put it below something like Dead Justice, but above the Siren Song. Like it's a fairly good episode, and there's some Angel dying is like what like turns it from like an okay episode to a pretty good one, because like that's such a heroic scene, so harrowing.
Yeah, and it really like for a while the kids were like basically safe and just nothing bad has happened so far. So that kind of I feel like would punch me in the gut like, oh,
No.
like this is real. It finally sets in.
Jumpsuit mommy is dead. Yeah, yeah. Overall, I like this
uh,
episode. Also, the German bots like are like kind of like they're intense, man. They got fucking guns on their arms, and uh,
that's scary.
they got like German World War II vibes, which is yeesh. But yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's that, and then we're off to the next episode. You have anything more you want to say before we head off to the next one?
Uh, I love this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Sad episode, but I get why they did it.
Yes. I put it in mid B tier.
Yeah, yeah, middle B, good.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause, uh,
Yeah. All right. And next up, we have episode 38, or episode 12 of season 2, The Scare Bear. Uh, yeah. Okay. So this one, so basically, Mayor Nettles and Sheriff Bronson Stone try to go on a date near Destroyo Labs, and they find a mutant scare bear terrorizing the place, and they want the gang to, stop it. And then they find out that, Destroyo is doing some pretty awful shit, and then, Destroyo tries to cover its tracks, and, yeah, and then, uh, like, lore-wise, Judy and Brad are set to betray Fred, and I don't know. I'd say like overall this episode was pretty good. I really liked the villain. The Scare Bear was like sympathetic, and like the character himself was pretty funny. Like he's just like, you would be wrong, Scarlet Temptress. Like he spoke so weirdly. Uh, yeah, and also I think like there were some pretty funny things in this episode, like the like Sheriff Bronson Stone saying evil can overcome physical deformalities. Uh, yeah, and also yeah, just the story is like somewhat interesting because you we go into the like destroyed labs, like really the gang gets to go in and like see all the experiments and shit they're doing, and you also feel bad for the villain because like he just wanted to show that Destroido sucks, which is a fairly noble goal.
yeah,
And
the villain should have been let go, and
yeah,
they should have helped him. Honestly.
yeah, it's just get laser hair surgery, bro. That'll help you. Ah, God. I fucking feel him though because before I took estrogen, fucking every day I had to shave and it sucked.
Oh.
Yeah, estrogen helps a lot. Good. I recommend to all the femmes out there to take your E. Uh, Not Mr. E, but your estrogen. Uh,
Ooh, that was good.
yeah, yeah. And even femboys out there, if you want estrogen, you go have some.
True, true.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, this episode is fairly good. I like I think I I like a lot of the scenes in it. Even with some meandering things, I'd say like where it falters is like it's not as funny as other episodes. There's just some jokes that don't land, and like overall story wise, like not a lot happens. It's just like more of like, oh, things are coming. It's like, oh, Fred's parents are gonna betray him. Like it's coming up soon, which is like nice prelude to the next episode with Krampus. But yeah, this episode overall is pretty good. I'd rank it like uh I'd rank it above the sorry, just slightly below the Night Fright episode. Like it's it's a lot of fun, but there's just some like moments and scenes that are like a little dragging.
Yeah, I feel like they could have done more with Destroydo. Like all the evidence was like in there.
Yeah.
They didn't take anything.
Uh, well, I mean, they explain it in the episode, like lazily, where it's like, well, Destroido is its own sovereign entity, so we can't arrest them, which is bullshit, but whatever.
Maybe they should have cut down a power line or something. They should have.
I, I, technically, you could get the world nations in there because technically they've made things which could be considered like illegal weapons of war.
right?
Yeah, so you could get the UN involved technically.
I feel like they just dropped this too easily.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's. I mean, part of that's like trying to be like, oh, companies aren't so easily arrested in the real world. It's like they have a bunch of corporate immunity bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, again, a theme of this show is that like the adults in your life will fail you sometimes. Yeah. Uh but yeah, there's I don't know. I'd say this episode's really good. I think it's like one of the best of B tier for sure. And it's definitely worth a watch because there are some really fun scenes like the scare bear chasing the gang through the hospital. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah. Also, I have to ask this: is the guy naked? Because he says there's fur everywhere. So does he have just like a really tiny penis and like we don't see it? Or I'm just asking. Like I'm
I
asking. Or like did he put like a bear crotch over that part? Like is he just like he's just
well,
mostly naked at least?
I literally rewatched this one scene like before the stream. I was rewatching all the villains, and he said that the only thing he put on is like the mask and claws. So
Yeah.
basically, he's naked.
Yeah, so is
He's
his
full on
he
running around.
so I guess his penis is just so small that you can't see it. I guess he had too many roids.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Either that or he's on estrogen. Wait, you know what? He's a trans man. All solved.
Ah, true.
Yeah. Leg zoinks, the trans scare bear man. Yeah, yeah, I like this episode. It's very good. It's a nice rewatch. Honestly, like if I had to like if I had to show like an episode out of context that like separate from the rest of the series, besides the mystery solvers in the first one, I'd show this one to like newcomers because like there's not a lot of lore and there's like enough that's like explained and you can infer like oh Destroido's evil. Got it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Can't believe Fred is a trans man. I mean maybe. I Fred and Daphne being trans man trans woman T for T is actually really cute. I like that. Yeah, that's his hyperfixation and like Daphne is a trans girl with BPD. I should know. I probably have it. No wonder I saw the bear smelling Scooby Doo's do. Hi, Glass. Good to see you. This is my friend Glass. He's a retro gamer. Pretty cool.
Ooh.
Oh, I think I turned the redeem down too much. Anyways, yeah. Anything else you want to say about this episode before we move on?
You know what? Personally, I thought the guy looked fine as is. That's,
I, oh, so you're into Harry, man. Good to know.
I mean,
I
I
mean,
think it was the claws. I think it was the claws.
I, he can scare my bear. Fucking
I
God.
think he didn't need to do all this, but understandable, and they should have let him.
We have
But
we have very
good
different
episode.
taste in men. Yeah, yeah. Anyways, I guess next is the Wrath of Krampus. 8, 9. Yeah, we're like halfway through this season now. Uh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah. We're at episode 39 or episode 13 of season 2, Wrath of Krampus. Uh, I love this episode so much. It's one of my favorite episodes of this show because of how. Let me get the bear from WrestleMania mystery. Damn. But
hey
it's
yo,
super shaggy, shagging over here.
yo.
Yo. Uh, anyways, this episode is really creative. So it starts like a normal episode where like the gang is trying to solve a Krampus-based mystery where like Krampus is going around terrorizing small children. Don't be sorry. It's okay. You're good. Be as gay as you want. Anyways, uh,
Valid.
yes.
Valid, dude.
Favorite Scooby Doo movie? Ooh, that's a hard one. Honestly, I think I like Scooby Doo Rock. I like Scooby Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. That one's really good. Like, it's kind of a guilty pleasure, but I think there are some really good scenes in it. Top two,
That's true.
Zombie Island, Witch's Ghost. Witch's Ghost is also really good. I'm not gonna lie.
Ah, Zombie Island is good too.
I'm not.
Ah.
I'm not gonna lie. This is my biggest hot take with Scooby Doo. I think Zombie Island is good, but not great.
They.
I. It's really good. The like it looks great visually. I love the horror of it. It's I don't know. The voice acting is really good. I just think it's just standard.
Mm.
Yeah. It's not a remake. It was a sequel, and yeah. Give me Freddie Prinze Jr. Damn. Damn. Fucking. As, this is a random thing. You can look this clip up online. This is my favorite like interview clip, which is so they're interviewing like all the different cast members and like the cast member like the lady who plays Daphne's like, oh, it was such a creative show. It wasn't a boys show. It wasn't a girl show. There's just that element of story and mystery to it, and like anyone could enjoy it. And then they interview the guy who plays Freddy, who's just like, it's a talking dog.
Yeah. Oh my god, I remember that.
It's really funny.
I love that clip.
Yeah. Anyways, Krampus. So the Krampus episode, like the gang is trying to solve the Krampus mystery, but the villains, Pericles, Mr. E, Brad Childs, Judy Reeves, they're trying to steal the pieces from the mystery gang because like all the pieces have been found. So if they get all the pieces, then their evil plans can be enacted. And then like at first it's kind of meanderful, which I'll knock the episode for. Like there's some things that like feel a little bit too long, uh, but they eventually the villains steal the pieces from underneath the gang's head noses, and they go back to their evil base, and they find that their pieces were stolen, and that there's a disc on there, and that disc reveals how the mystery gang like scammed them, and how they had the Krampus, and how they knew that Fred's parents were going to betray Fred, and they got all the pieces back, and they like put the pieces all together, and it's a really fucking fun visual that they do that. And by the end of it, we see a Nibiru. We see a sarcophagus, and it says Nibiru as it's on top of a bunch of treasure, and that's the curse that's to come, and it's such a good twist. Like it's such a fun twist for the episode, and like because this is like one of the few times where the gang is the villain technically, and it's so fucking funny. Also, like this episode, at least in certain places, this episode's really funny. Like the sheriff being like, "I look like a smelly wizard." Yeah, I think this episode's really funny. I love Krampus was very fun. I did like Krampus, and also how Pericles was like, "Oh, Krampus, I remember hearing the children scream." It's like this parrot's fucked up. And yeah, like the story was really good. Pacing was good. I like the lore and how the story evolves was great. I think this episode was really fucking good. And like, you know, like I'd say the one knock against it, if you think about it, it's like, man, they were acting really hard. Like, they're even to each other. I guess they're worried about like, like a bug being around. But yeah, like this was such a clever plan from them. This is one of my favorite episodes of this show. I'd put it in like low S tier. Like I think there are some problems. Like it's not as funny as other episodes, and like if you think about certain things too hard, it's a little weird. But otherwise, it's a great episode. Anything you want to say, my friend?
Real mom and dad, I'm not coming home for dinner.
Ever. I I love that line. That was great.
Sorry, I was waiting. I
You're good. You're good.
What the hell is even that?
just how Fred just and that. I mean, it sucks for Fred because he thought, his parents were back, but
I guess they weren't.
yeah, he's got the gang now though. They're the
Yeah.
only family he needs, and it is
Yeah.
nice that he did. Mayor Jones helped. That was kind of nice how he had his own little cameo.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, they're
Yeah.
still on somewhat good terms.
Yeah, I like how the villains helped, like Marianne and like Jason, like they helped. Uh, I had someone ask me which Hex Girl song was good in this series. Most I said "Trap of Love" or "Good Bad Girls" is my favorite. I think "Trap of Love" is like better written, but "Good Bad Girls" is just so catchy. We're gonna get to that, but yeah, I fucking love the Hex Girls in the series. Anyways, uh, yeah, this episode is an S tier for me. Do you have any other thoughts? Where'd you place it, etc.?
I don't know if I would put it on S, but very high A.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, Krampus is cool, but
He is a bit of a plot device, I will admit, but like, I think for a Scooby Doo villain for this show, he works, and I really like how I like how Krampus is having fun. He's torturing people and he's having fun. He has a smile on his face and he's laughing. You can tell that he's having a good time.
yeah.
Also, how he was Charlie the Robot was fun.
Oh yeah, how they used that was nice. I love when they
Mm.
do little throwbacks to their old movies.
Yeah, or the old shows as well. Yeah.
Which is why we should have more of Velma's mom's little store. So we.
And in the store, actually, there's a reference to the Luna Ghost from the first Scooby Doo live action movie.
She's got all the cool stuff. Why are they always in there?
I mean, probably
But
because
I
Velma's
digress.
mom would be like, "You should have some essential oils," and Velma's like, "I'm sick of this bitch." All right.
Yeah, it's a
Mm.
good episode though.
Mm-hmm. All right. That's right. Even Flim Flam and Scrappy. Yeah. Yeah. I love how they're like, yeah, jailed for life as a huckster in one episode. All right. Next is the Heart of Evil. Uh, I okay. So this episode is kind of like the Mystery Solvers Club State finales, where it's like an episode that doesn't add
Ooh.
much to the canon, and it's just there for filler, and it's just supposed to be fun. And this is a crossover with the Blue Falcon, which Scooby Doo and the Blue Falcon have crossed over a lot, so it makes sense that they do it in this show. Uh, I'd say like some of the best beats in this episode are like Scooby and Shaggy and Blue Falcon and Dynamite, like with their interactions. It's really nice. Shaggy being a fucking hero and beating the shit out of people is great. Like he picks up Mr. E by the collar and he's like, "Okay, E, what do you know?" Like that shit is,
Yes.
yeah, that shit was wild. I love that. The I I think also this episode had some really funny moments. Like even just the little things, like Blue Falcon is like a bunch of guards are like attacking him, and he just like he smiles cockily as he like beats the fuck out of them. I feel like that's really funny. The and then like Blue Falcon being like, "Who are you?" "Oh, we're Mystery Incorporated." "So you're also affected by corporate greed." That's funny. Uh, yeah. I'd say like downsides to this episode are well, I guess one last thing to mention is now that the gang has the full disc, Velma uses it on a machine and it spits back the word Nibiru. It's like, ooh, what does it mean? They're gonna figure it out, which I think they actually talk about a little bit in. No, they talk about it in the Krampus episode, where basically Nibiru is it's a planet. It's the 10th planet that comes around every 3,600 years, and it has inhabitants named Anunnaki, and some of them are good and some of them are evil, and they're interdimensional. Anyways, and also yeah, in this episode, Fred is living like a hobo, and I just feel bad for him. Yeah, no. In another episode, in the Mystery Solvers Club State finals, it's a dream episode where they team up with all the other Scooby ripoffs. Anyways, in this episode has some problems. I'd say like the pacing is pretty bad. Like some scenes go on forever, and so other scenes like happen too quickly. Uh, and also the villain is just kind of there. Like it's just a robot. It's not really that cool. Like it has a neat design, but like it doesn't really do much. And like the twist of it being like the daughter and like she's been like basically dying all these years is kind of neat. But like I don't know, this episode's just kind of there. And like story wise, yeah, it doesn't really do much. And I don't know. There's like some lore of like destroyed Obot Quest X and all that, but besides that, meh.
I really like Shaggy in this one.
Yeah, me too.
I thought he looked really cool.
Yeah, fair. I think I think this episode's fine. It's fine enough filler for what it is. Like it works for what it is, but also kind of like you know like this is like after the big episode of like the gang tricking the old Mystery Inc. It's like this is kind of like breaking the pace a little bit. Like like it's like we didn't need this in the middle of this story.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care too much for Falcon. He's okay, but Dynamite I do like.
I re-
So.
I kind of feel the opposite. Like
Yeah.
I like Blue Falcon how like serious he is and like how the gang is like bro calm down and then Dynamite's like okay. I think he's a little bit too silly, but I think like he does have some pretty funny gags like him turning into a literal battering ram is pretty funny and also like the the way where the way he says like no he'll kill you or something when like Blue Falcon threatens the gang is funny but yeah like he's just kind of there like Scooby feels more grounded in this show and Dynamite's the same as he's ever been uh excuse me yeah let's see there's yeah, I guess there's not much else I want to say about this. It's good as a one-off episode. I'm glad they only did this like kind of thing once in this season, but yeah. I'd rank this in like I'd put this above Grim Judgment and Tears of Doom, but below Alice May. It's like B tier, like low B tier.
Yeah. Low B because I didn't really care for it except for when Shaggy got all super strength for his
Yeah.
best friend. That was pretty
Also
cool.
him
So I
having
really
the
liked that.
makeup on suddenly was kind of weird. It was like, yeah, how'd he put on the makeup that fucking fast? And also I do love there's that thing of like Velma being like, when Shaggy saw the missile, he dropped us all in the ocean, saving us. And he's like, yeah, except that was totally accidental.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow, you ready to talk about the Theater of Doom?
Yes.
All right, this is episode 15 of season 2, or episode 41, Theater of Doom. This is one of my favorite, again, another one of my favorite episodes of all time of the show. So, this episode is about the gang. The local theater is trying to put on a play about Friar Sarah and the donkey Porto, who saved Crystal Cove when it was falling into the ocean. And the ghost of Friar Sarah says not to tell his story. And then then Vincent Van Gogh shows up. Love him. Good to see him again. And like
Yes.
he needs help, like making the play, and the gang help him along with trying to solve the mystery. And at first, the mystery seems solved, in that it was Avocados trying to get the diamond, because the diamond was secretly in the props case. And, the mystery seems solved all as well, but then they realize that, that it wasn't him. The corpse of Friar Sarah comes to life, and he says, "You are all doomed. Porto did not try to save the town. He wanted to destroy it." And he gives like a monologue talking about how him and his Fraternitas Mysterium tried to, like break from the evil pieces because the Fernando guy who was part of the conquistadors gave two of the pieces to them, and Porto died trying to like destroy the town and run off with the pieces. One was sunk at the bottom of the ocean, and another one was put in cheese wheel by Friar Sarah. And he says, "This has all happened before. It starts with the animal. The dog dies," and that's kind of foreshadowing to later. And it's really fucking intense, and it's really awesome to see the lore come together. I think Friar Sarah is genuinely really creepy. I love the glow that he has and how like mummified he looks. I think the story is really nice because it's just like I love Vincent Van Gogh so much, and I love that Shaggy's like, we've done so much for you. Give us this. Help this man. And yeah, and then also the pacing is good. Like every scene feels like it's the appropriate amount of time. Like the one downside I'd say this episode, again, not as funny as some of the other ones, though there are some really funny things like Shaggy singing being really terrible, and the the text they get. What does heat mean? I meant to type help, but I was in a rush. It's avocados, yes. I did like this one, yeah. Design was really good, yeah. I love this episode a lot, and I would put this like above the Fright Hound in terms of quality. I'm just gonna rank it. What do you have to say about this episode, Dom? How do you feel?
First of all, wild that the school would just bring in the coffin of
It,
a
it wasn't the school. It was just like the general theater. But yeah, like they brought in a fucking corpse, which is weird. I guess it
very
was like
wild.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, good coffee table, guys.
but I, I did really like, uh, this episode too, because we do get to see some, recurring or past characters.
Mm-hmm. Like we even see the Dougal guy who is in the who was in the Grim Judgment episode.
Hmm. Also, I just like when there's real ghosts
Yeah,
and not just a guy in a
yeah,
costume. It's pretty nice.
yeah. It's yeah. He's scary. Like he's so terrifying. Like his voice, and he's like, "Don't tell my story," and yeah, yeah.
Also, when he says like, it was always like the animal first. I do kind of wanted to see if that did happen in like the other ones.
I mean, we do see it a little bit with Pericles, where he betrays the team. So I guess it's the animal that is affected by the evil first, maybe.
I
That would have been
wonder,
interesting to see, like the fucking orangutan just kill people or something.
like it'd probably be. I just want to know more. I just want to. Can I get like a little chapter, a little side series, just a
Yeah.
little
On
smidge of what?
honestly, a thing I want to do one day
Let me
is
fact check this.
yeah. There's a thing I want to do one day with the series. Do you know what the Call of Cthulhu is? The D&D system.
Yes, I had the book.
Yeah, I want to do a Call of Cthulhu. I genuinely want to do a Call of Cthulhu series where it's like a prequel that's set with the first Mystery Incorporated gang, and like it's
Ooh.
and the ending the ending is predetermined where they're like they attacked by the freak, and the but yeah, like I want to see like it would be fun to see their adventures like in the 80s or whatever. and Scoop of Cthulhu. That's funny. Yeah, but like it'd be interesting to see like a series that's like, like the players would play as the as like the original Mystery Inc. Like one player would be Ricky, one would be Cassidy, one would be Judy Reeves, and the other would be Brad Childs. And then the DM would be Professor Pericles. Yeah.
Oh, I would. I already
If
got
you if you
ideas in
do
my
that,
mind.
if you
Oh,
do that, I would love to be a player. Genuinely.
oh my God. I DM'd like a few games. I made a couple games that I have yet to like make people play
Oh,
just because of scheduling. But
I would
oh my
love to do the
God.
Scoop of Cthulhu with you. That'd be fun. Like
Oh my God.
even if it wasn't specifically the old Mystery Inc. game, and it was just like Scooby Doo style thing in the style of Call of Cthulhu. Like even if it was like a made up gang or whatever, that'd be fun. Like
Because
oh,
most of my things are like, you have to search for clues. That's my biggest thing.
yes, that would be perfect for this.
I would.
Oh, I just thought of something that'd be fucking cool. So you know how like a theme of this show is like the previous team like not destroying the evil and indulging in it in some way, right?
Hmm.
What if there was a what if Call of Cthulhu game where the Scooby gang fall prey to the evil entity and like they don't get back together at the at the start of the second season. They all go their separate ways, and then a new gang rises up and the evil entity tries to take them over.
Mm.
Yeah, like I just imagine like Fred is like Scooby's like a griddled dog, and
Oh.
like Shaggy is just like a sad stoner who like goes to bars. Velma is like a recluse. Daphne becomes like a supermodel and has Baylor Hotner and like no one else in her life, and then like Fred is just like wandering the streets alone. Like, and then the new gang rises up. Honestly, that would be so much fun.
Hmm. No.
Yeah,
I see
I
it. I see
I'd love to play like the Shaggy of the new gang and just be like
it.
a female stoner, and she has like a pet ferret who can talk.
Ooh.
that
Aw.
that would be funny. Just and just have the fucking ferret be French for no reason. He's a, oui, let's find some clues. All right. Anyways, back to the show at
Yeah.
hand. Sorry
Sorry.
for
Sorry. Yeah.
that little divergence. We gotta talk more about this. I'd love to do that. Just call.
Future stream guys, get ready.
Yes, I would love to do that. Call of Cthulhu with Scooby Doo in some way. It could either be the original gang or the one of the old games, a future new gang, or just like a different. It's like a parody. It could be a parody of Scooby Doo too. Anyways, next episode is aliens with people. I don't want to say Among Us for obvious reasons. God, the internet fucking ruined that phrase. Anyways, aliens Among Us. This episode is bad. It's
Yeah.
really okay. All right, let's just get the good stuff out of the way. It's decently funny. There's some like really funny things where like the sheriff is like, "You have to believe me. Look where they took me to the dentist office." Like that was decently funny. I like the I don't need some silly body pillow. Uh, let's see what else. There's a. It was the O of love, Fred, or it could have been the O of you. It was the O of love. Like that was funny. And also like lore wise, I think it has some pretty good lore. The like the city hall eventually gets burned down by Brad and Judy because they want to stop the gang. Like that's they're planning shit, and yeah, the I don't know. I also did I like the final chase scene was like semi entertaining. Like Fred had Mario Kart items. I called them like in my notes because he just has like oil and shit in the mystery machine. It's like I wouldn't be surprised if he had an actual blue shell. Yeah, but anyways, the yeah, so there's that. Anyways, besides that, the episode was kind of like boring. Like it was very one note, and like the story really isn't that interesting. The aliens do not show up really. Like there's a like they only really show up at the end, and like they're more teased throughout the story. And then I don't know. It's just like the pacing's pretty bad. A lot of scenes go on too long, and the aliens themselves are really boring. Like one of them is just a woman. The other two look okay, but they just don't do anything. Like they steal shit and then that's it. Like
And be Irish.
yeah, the story of the villains is like it could be interesting if like oh you know we became known as thieves and then we dressed up as aliens because who would believe an alien stealing a flat screen. Like that's a fun idea. If it was like again, if it was like a joke at the start of the episode where it's like the gang stop like a different like a gang of punks or something dressed as aliens, then that would be fun. That would be funny if it was like a supplement to the actual story. But this is the whole story. Like also, you know, like there's a scene where they think they're being attacked by aliens, but like nope, it's all explained. It was like, oh, the shining light was a weather balloon, and all the electricity going out was a bunch of people turning on their radios at the same time, which is a really bullshit explanation, but okay. Yeah, it's bad. It's
Yeah,
really
if you guys just want to skip to like the end of the episode,
yeah. Like that
like
all you
that.
need to see is the end where the place gets burned down. All you need to see is the fire because everything else is just so mid. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I want to personally I would put this it's a little bit more entertaining than the secret serum. I'll give it that. But like you know the one with the vampire, I think it's more entertaining than that because there are some like really decently funny jokes and I really like you know the story that's set up, but besides that like it's just so bare bones.
Yeah, definitely see. I could have been better.
Yeah. Oh, the main
Uh,
part of the town turns it off. That would have been way funnier if it was like some guy was like the head electrician accidentally turned the power off to everything in the town. That would have been way
Oopsie.
fun. Or just like an EMP accidentally goes off. That would have been way funnier. That would have been so fucking funny. God. Uh anyways, not much else to say. I'm ready to go on to the next one, which is at least slightly
Yeah.
better. Uh let's see. Next is The Horrible Herd, episode 43, or episode. Can't math. 17, I think. I don't know. Anyways, episode 43, The Horrible Herd. Uh, I thought this episode was okay. I think there were some really good parts to it. I think the story overall was very intense. It was super intense. A lot of, like, near death moments with the herd. The threat that they posed and like there were some like you know things that happened like Nova gets like basically nearly killed. uh the lore is nice where like Pericles is watching the city burn. You can just see how fucking evil he is and like him getting furious that his plans aren't working. there's some there's some okay jokes in here like there's a like the farmer going to Fred and being like, you got potatoes in your ears, and then he just picks them out and he's like, not today. Yeah. Uh it's it's an overall competent episode, but I there's some things that aren't great about it. Like some things go on a little bit too long and like story wise not a lot happens. Also I feel
Yeah,
like
the
the
CGI is
herd
kind of weird.
yeah, I feel like the herd doesn't look great. When they're animated in 2D, I think it looks great. I think it looks really weird and like mortifying. But in 3D, they just kind of look like little lumpy pillows. Like I just want a plush of them, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like in 3D, they look kind of like not that good. In 2D, they look pretty good though. And also, just as a villain, there's like nothing there. Like they're just a means to an end. They were created by Professor Pericles, and that's it. Like they're not as memorable as the robots because the robots are like intimidating and like, you know, like they're like you go on their home turf, but the herd were like genetically modified monsters, and that's it. I don't know. I don't really have a lot to say. I like this episode enough for what it is. I think I'd put it in like B tier. I'd put it above Alice. Actually, no, below Alice May still. Uh, but yeah, I like this episode. It's good, but it's not amazing, and like it's one that I only rewatch on like full rewatches.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there anything else you want to say? Are you ready to move on to like what I think is one of the best episodes of this whole series?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this episode is okay, I guess. But next episode,
The next one's even better. Yeah, Horrible Herd. I'd say low B tier. Anything else you want to say?
yeah, probably end of B tier, honestly.
Fair. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Hi, what's Mystery Inc. about? It's a Scooby Doo show where there's lore. There's lore. There's character arcs. It's really well written for the most part. It's really good. Watch every episode. It's darker and it works with that. Anyways, go watch it. Next up is Dance of the Undead, episode 44. I
Yes.
fucking love this episode. Honestly, I'm just gonna rank it right now. I think this is one of the best episodes. I think it's okay. I think it's not as good as All Fear the Freak, but damn, is it fucking good? Like, okay. So the basic plot of this episode is that that there's a gang. It's Rude Boy and his band, and Rude Boy died in a plane crash, and their zombies have come back to infect the town with music that makes you dance till you die, right? And it's like it's kind of generic, but the thing about it is it's so fun. Every single moment of this episode is fun. It's fun incarnate. Like the ghost band members ride motorcycles. The like at one point they get the Hex Girls, and the Hex Girls do a battle of the bands with the fucking zombies, and it's ska versus rock and roll, and both songs are really fucking good. And at one point, Scooby and Shaggy grab guitars to help support the melody, and like they win the rock battle, and it's so fucking cool. And like also just other parts of this episode are just really good. The villains are, they're not scary, but they're charming. They are fun and charming, and they have like decently creepy designs. The pacing is great. Every scene goes on for like just the right amount of time. Comedy's pretty good. I think there's some really funny like lines to this episode. Like like Shaggy being like, "Why do we do this at night? Why can't we go to the cemetery when it's in daylight?" Like that's really funny. Like that's so real. Let's see. There's I'm trying to see if there's yeah. There's the weird joke of like this is a weird running joke in the series, which is Velma being like, "I'm a girl." It's like, why do people think she's a guy? I don't know. And also, like this is Shaggy says this one. Doesn't oh wait no, this is Scooby. Doesn't anyone ever stay dead around here? God, it's really fun. This episode's just so much fun, and also lore-wise, it's pretty good. They find, oh, I forgot. Oh wait, hold on. I think I forgot to mention something. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to remember. Where is the first? Hold on a minute.
I'm holding.
I-
I'm holding.
You're holding. I hold on. Where's the? I'm trying to find. I need to find it in my notes. Hold on. Let's see. Trying to find it. Okay, I forget where. Like, where's the first? Hold on. I'm looking this up. First key. Mystery. And I forgot to. Okay. Okay, yeah, okay, I forgot. Okay, so this is in Aliens Among Us, which I forgot to mention. But, okay, one good thing about that episode is there is lore to it, and the one bit of lore is that the gang, with the help of the machine Velma built, they find they go to Gatorsburg and they find a gun in a coffin, and that's the first key. And what does it mean? We don't know. And then in this episode, the Hex Girls help them decipher a music clue, and they find the second key. The first key is a gun, and then the second key is a helmet of some kind, a conquistador-esque helmet. And Scooby goes to Nova in the hospital by the end of the Dance of the Undead, and she awakens and says Nibiru is coming. And yeah, sorry. Back to the episode itself. Yeah, I love this episode. It's really fucking good. This is one of my favorites of all time of this series. Like, honestly, I would show this to people who haven't watched the show before, because like even with the lore stuff, it's still pretty fun to follow through with it.
Also really fun to dance to.
Yes, the fucking ska song. You dead right, mates. I left right, mates. Top night, mates. You dead right, mates. Also, the song by the Hex Girls. We're the good bad girls. Yeah. I love the Hex Girls. Yeah, this episode's a banger. Yeah. Um,
Definitely S tier.
S tier for sure. This is one of my top 5 in S tier, if I'm honest. Yeah, me too. But sometimes what a series is so good because it's only one of a kind. I mean, there's other like shows like this, like Gravity Falls, or like the Avatar series. There's trying to think of other like 2010s and 2000s shows that have this ongoing kind of story. The DCAU with like Justice League Unlimited, Batman Beyond, that kind of like those shows all have interconnected lore. Yeah. There's still other shows like that, but yeah. Anything else you want to add about this episode, Dom? Anything you want to say?
Not really. You said it pretty good, and I really like this episode.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna download the songs later tonight.
Oh, you gotta look this up. So there's a guy, and his name is Skatoon Network, I think, on YouTube, and he does a lot of ska covers of things, and also just like do ska songs as well. And he played this song, and it was really good. It was like less slow paced. It was more like fast paced kind of ska, where that was more rock and rolly, but it was really good.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right. Well, we don't have many episodes left. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alrighty. I guess we're gonna move on to the next episode, which is the Devouring, which we're not gonna talk much about. Okay. Okay. Good things out of the way first. They find the third key in this episode, accidentally, but whatever. They find it. That's good. They find the third key. Let's see. There's some like extra scenes put in here for no reason, where Mr. E takes Pericles out of the system and tries to have Brad and Judy betray him, but Brad and Judy betray Mr. E, and then Mr. E gets punished by putting like venom in his spine, and then Pericles presses a button to release it. Pericles is an evil fucking parrot. Like, this guy is so fucking evil.
But he does it so well though that I can't hate him.
Yeah, I can't. Like, I love to hate him. That's my feeling on him. Yeah. Yeah.
He's so good. He's so well written.
Yeah. He is really well written. He's a great villain, because like in the first season, like he establishes himself by the end as the main villain. He's the main insert parrot joke here. Beautiful. Yes, he's going crackers. Yeah, but no, Like at first, like he's kind of like a background element, and then becomes a main villain as the series goes on. It's really nice. I'd say like the first season, the main villain is the mayor, and then the second season, the main villain is Pericles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Steps out in the shadows.
indeed. Yes, pacing wise, I think this episode was fine. There were some scenes that went on too long, but other ones like were the right amount. And although this episode wasn't very funny, there was some funny jokes in here. I'm actually checking my notes if I wrote any of them down. Let's see. Wait. Okay, the one really funny joke in this episode where like they ask, "Hey, where's your wife? Where's Marion?" And Rick being like, "She was taken by the flies in Africa." And then Charles, I'm gonna call him Charles because Kachinga is not his fucking name, but Charles is like, "Actually, she's visiting with her mother. They're having disagreements right now." Like that was really funny. But yeah, the story of this episode is basically the lady from the Dreamweaver episode who is like a cooking show host. She gets killed live on camera by a food demon, and then Rick comes back and is trying to like get all the gluten in Crystal Cove to try to trap the food demon, and then the girls and Charles solve the mystery. Fred and Rick try to stop the gluten demon, and then Shaggy and Scooby get fat. And this episode, like, it isn't good. I think it's unintentionally fat phobic. Like, there's some jokes that aren't great in here. Like, it's like, Shaggy and Scooby get fat and defeat the food demon, and the fight itself is actually like it's pretty choreographed well. And then at the end, like they're like, "You can walk home, you guys," and it's just like, what the fuck. The villains, the villain sucks. I fucking hate the gluten demon. The gluten demon was really terrible. Her plan was stupid. I fucking didn't care that she got canceled because her cornbread wasn't made of corn, and they kind of like treated her badly. And the villain itself, it wasn't charming, it wasn't scary. It was just a big fat guy who was red and so happened to be a demon. Like that was it. Like it just, yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah.
And yeah, the just none of the scenes were like really entertaining. Like even Charles and like the ladies trying to find clues, like even that wasn't that fun.
Yeah, probably another.
Yeah,
I would consider this a filler episode.
this no, but it has lore. It has lore because they find the third key because apparently that was her bowl and just slipped out of her. Like if they were fighting in her studio and they found the bowl in like a compartment, I could really accept it. But that just rolls away from her. Like did she have it in like the pocket of her costume or something? It was so weird. And I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how she was eating all that food either.
Yeah, I don't know. Because she's fat, that's how. That's the solution to everything. Because when you're fat, you can just eat as much as you want. Like that's how it works. Your stomach becomes a void. Yeah. Jeez. Anyways, I'd say this is worse than the aliens episode. I think it's still better than the secret serum because at least this one has lore and like it actually has jokes that made me laugh. One joke that made me laugh. The secret serum had none. This episode sucks though. The only thing you need to watch is the scenes with Mr. E and them getting the third key. Everything else you don't need to watch.
Yeah, just skip to the end again.
Skip to the end.
Unfortunately.
All right.
Okay.
Where would you rank this? I put it like very low of C.
Oh, thank God. I was gonna say C too.
Yeah, no.
But
No, this is A tier. This is A tier material. What are you talking about? No, it's C. It's pretty rough. All right. Are you ready for the next one? Is there anything else you want to say?
No.
Like, yeah,
It's an
yeah.
episode.
Look, if I was ranking these like if I was ranking these objectively based off of like current taste and stuff, I'd put it in F for the fat phobia. In terms of an episode itself, like I'm going to knock that against it, but know that like this was the times. Uh, yeah, I'd put this C. Look, yeah. Anyways, are you ready for the next episode? Stand and
Yes.
deliver. I okay. Okay, lore wise, I like this episode a lot. So, okay, we're gonna talk about the basic story first. The basic story is there's some guy named the Dandy Highwayman, and he's basically a British Chad who steals people's wives, and then the gang has to stop him from cuckoldry. Uh, that's really about it. It's really stupid. I I have to say, they could have just stopped him because he was just a guy. Like, just fucking shoot him. Like, what the fuck is he gonna do? Like, just shoot him. Just, like, stab him. Punch him in the face. What the fuck is he gonna do? Like, yes, he has guns, and yes, they can destroy stuff. Kick his hands. Use one of the guns against him. Fucking kick him in the nuts. What the fuck are you afraid of? He's just a fucking British guy.
The British are scary.
This was, I think he's my least favorite villain. Like, even with the Humungonauts, like, no, this isn't the guy with the horse.
Literally just some guy.
Yeah, no, he was just a guy. And he was not charming. Like, he tried to go to the women and be like, "Oh my dear, you are just so interesting." I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. You are a British incel. Shut the fuck up. You don't deserve any of these women. You are boring. You are not handsome. You're a fucking loser. It turns out to be the librarian because he didn't make friends. Bro, go on Tinder. Fucking get a life. God, I fucking hate this villain so much. If this is a villain ranking, I'd put him in F. I fucking hate him. I hate him so much. He sucks. He's Shaggy uppercut. Yeah, literally, just fucking punch him. What the fuck are you gonna do? Just punch him. Just fucking punch him. And if he kills you, arrest him. Put him in fucking jail. What the fuck are you gonna do? I fucking hate this guy so much. He sucks so bad. I hate him. I hate him so much. He makes me so angry. Anyways, yeah, the story itself was kind of boring. Like, at one point, like, Daphne's mom and Daphne get kidnapped. There was actually one really fun scene where, like, he blows up his motorcycle in the TNT crate that Velma's mom had, which that was actually pretty funny joke. Like, there's some decently funny things in this episode. Like, I don't know. Like, as much it is kind of sexist, like the the sheriff being like, yeah, listen to women, we get it, is pretty funny in context. Yeah, fucking pop his bike tires. Where the fuck is he gonna go? Sorry, I just really hate this guy so much. I fucking hate him. Like, I've not felt this much like woman rage at a man ever in my life. I fucking hate this guy so much. If I ever met someone like this guy, I'm gonna fucking bite his fucking balls off. Anyways, yeah, the story itself was kind of boring. It was paced okay. Like, there were some things that went on a little bit too long, like any scene with the Dandy Highwaymen, but like, other than that, like, the scenes went on like a good amount. Again, there was some funny parts in this episode. The concept of it is a little funny that the villain is just a guy cuckolding people. Like, that's funny. And the lore is great because not only do they find the fourth key kind of accidentally, but Scooby-Doo is in a, like, red carpeted room, which is red walled room, which is a reference to what's that show? It's I forget the name of it. It's really popular. Twin Peaks. It's a reference to Twin Peaks, along with the little tiny man. And Nova, well, kind of Nova. Basically, an Anunnaki possessing Nova says a bunch of lore, and the lore is that Anunnaki are interdimensional beings, and they have to take physical form, so they take it in the form of animals, and their descendants can talk. So Scooby is the descendant of an interdimensional alien, and not every Anunnaki is good. They're from the planet Nibiru, and which passes by Earth every so often, and then uh, the and and one of them was evil, and they were put in a sarcophagus, and this is the curse of Crystal Cove, and like that's the lore. And Scooby wakes up and tells everybody. So the lore itself is great. This was great lore to find out, but this episode, besides that, really sucks. If it didn't have the lore, I'd possibly put it as the worst episode in the series.
It's true, yeah.
Okay, do you have any like thoughts you want to say about it?
Not not really. I did I do like the little backstory with Scooby Doo that,
Yeah.
but besides I he's not he's not actually a villain. I feel like
No, he is.
like,
He fucking
I-
kidnaps women. He okay. Also, this episode has sexist undertones. I'm sorry. I just hate this
yeah,
episode so much.
I really show this episode is also one of those that really shows its time.
Yeah.
That-
It was so sexist. Also, the ending where like Fred and Shaggy put in the earplugs. Like, fuck you, fuck you. I hate that. I'm the highway one punches him. No, yeah, that would have been me if I was in that episode. He was like, "My dear lady." Fuck you, Daddy Highwayman. You suck. I'm still gonna put you at like top of like near the top of C tier just because of the lore. You don't get anything more than that. Get your own woman, man. Yeah, no. You know what he needs? He needs fucking therapy. He needs therapy.
Maybe a friend first.
Yeah, give him a fucking friend. Yeah, give him a friend.
Start
God.
small.
Yeah, start small, you know? Like, just go to the bar, meet some bros, and then, grow as a person, go to the gym, go to therapy, learn that maybe you don't need romance and that you were compensating for yourself, your low sense of ego. Love yourself, and then, when the time is right, you'll find the woman you're looking for. Anyways, fuck this asshole. He goes in top of C tier only for the lore and the funny joke with Velma's mom in the pool. Where would you rank it?
uh, uh, yeah, probably in C, probably not N.
Middle C.
Yeah, probably C.
All right, fair enough.
It's I. It's okay.
It's fine. Okay. Sorry, I'm just calming down. Ooh, I hate the Dandy Highwayman so much. Oh, I want to strangle his Twinkie neck. And not in a hot way. Alright. Anyways, next is The Man in the Mirror, which that might possibly be a Michael Jackson reference? I don't know. Okay. So, the basic plot of this episode is that the Mystery Gang are exploring an abandoned house, and Fred gets pulled into the mirror, and then okay, I don't know how I'll say it. I'll say World A and World B. In World A, it's everything. The Mystery Gang is fine, but they're with a fake Fred who doesn't sound like Fred, and he's being really rude and terrible to them. And then in World B, our Fred, goes to what seems to be a future version of Crystal Cove, and Daphne is there, but she's really old, and apparently the planispheric disc turned everyone super old, and now they gotta find it again to reverse the effects. And this is an interesting thing, because it isn't... This is, like, the only time, really, the episodes really have an A and a B plot that converge. And some things I really like about it. The way it forwards the story. The twist is pretty good. Like, that fake Fred was Brad Childs and fake Daphne was Judy Reeves. and they got plastic surgery to look like that, which is kind of fucked, but that's how it be sometimes. I really like the I do like some of the comedy with fake Fred, where he he's like I think at one point he's at one point he is like fucking okay at one at one point he says something something like crumbs lead to germs and germs lead to sick days and sick days lead to ruining the economy. All right. Yeah. Um Also, the line, I guess that means we're all soulmates. Like, I just wrote the line, I just wrote under it polycule. Yeah, but, I like this episode. I thought it was pretty good. I'd say it's, like, in, like, the middle of B tier. There's a lot that I like about it. Like, some lines are pretty decently funny. I like the ending chase scene where they're at, like, the abandoned factory. And, the pacing's pretty good. Like I'd say there's some scenes that stay a little bit too long. Like the the fake Fred is mean joke gets a little like overplayed, and like the villains themselves are kind of like not that intimidating. But like the mystery itself is pretty interesting if you don't know the first time. I remember the first time watching it and realizing it. Oh yeah, that is them. But like on subsequent rewatches, you realize, oh yeah, that's just their voices. Like they didn't even change them really. Uh, like if they tried to hide it better, I think it would have been better mystery. But yeah. Anyways, I like this episode. I'd rank it in B tier. What about you, my good friend Dom?
I would probably put it in IB just because I really liked
I'd put it in like middle of B. It's better than the Midnight Zone. Uh,
it.
yeah. Let's see. There's other things
Oh,
yeah. Some lore stuff that happens is Pericles gets the disc from the gang. In a kind of stupid way. Daphne gets into trouble, and it's like, oh, now you gotta get rid of it. It's like, come on, it could have flowed a little better. Um. Anyways, yeah, I like how like Fred communicates to the gang. That's a fake Fred. That's a fun detail. Uh. Yeah, I like how Fred realizes that the Daphne is fake. That's really nice. That he's like super deductive. Uh. Yeah. Also, I like how Fred, like, they discover who the real Fred is, and then the fake Fred's, all right, okay, then who am I? And he says, you're one of the most evil and vile villains that Mystery Incorporated has ever faced. Isn't that right, Dad? Like, he calls him out on his bullshit, like, so hard. I love that.
I
Yeah.
just really like the two different worlds. Well, not really worlds, but
Yeah, no, different worlds. I like, yeah, how, like, it looks abandoned, and also, like, yeah. Here's my question though, if like you think about it too hard. So theoretically, this is like the movie set, right? How did
mhm.
they scale it? Because this is in Crystal Cove, right? So it must have been scaled. How did they scale it to be the exact same size as Crystal Cove? Unless like it was like part of it was destroyed, but they never showed it was like part of the walls got like sectioned off or something. It was just like, yeah, no, this is just the exact same size as Crystal Cove somehow.
Right?
Yeah,
I
like
was
how
also
big?
wondering like that.
Yeah,
It's
how
like
big is this movie studio? Is this big as the entirety of Hollywood?
also you're saying no one is running around in here in this big open space? I
Yeah,
would
like
be.
yeah, fucking
No
teenagers would have
way.
been like marking it. That would have been fucking.
Right?
Unless like they had the fucking robo guards, like like patrolling the walls. Yeah, but yeah. Um, Overall, I like this episode. It is something I do like enjoy when I rewatch it in the rewatch thing, but like I don't really watch it on its own that much, just because I think like overall it's like the mystery and stuff is memorable, but like the actual like happening of the story and the I don't know the villains aren't really that memorable because it's like they're not monsters, they're just people. Though I guess they are the real monsters, kind of like how Frankenstein the Doctor was.
Honestly, also shout out to Brad and Judy for going that far to getting
No,
plastic surgery.
no, fuck them. They suck.
I
They suck.
just
No
I
shout
think
out to
it's
them. They're
so
they're vile. They are
I think
vile.
it's so funny.
I think honest. This is something that I kind of think about, like with my special interest specifically. But my special interest is about personalities and stuff. I realize that like Brad and Judy, they're kind of the same personality as Fred in some ways, where like they're outgoing, they're goal driven, and like success driven, and they want to like achieve things. Like Fred wants to be good at like trap making and be good at that, and then the other, his parents want like fame and power, but his parents are that to an unhealthy degree, but Fred is that to a healthy degree where he's vulnerable and like he knows that like it's not the trap making that makes him a good person, it's just him being himself that does. And like he's really true to himself, which is really nice.
hmm
Uh-huh. Mm. Yeah. Also, yeah, I yeah, I don't know. There's not much else to say about this episode. Are you ready to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
All right. This one is another one of my favorites in this series. Uh, this is Nightmare in Red, episode 48. This episode is about Scooby going to. It's now called the Curtain Room, so that's what I'm gonna call it. It's yeah, it's a world between worlds where people can go and visit, and uh, Scooby. Lenova says that they're being chased, and they're being chased by a monster that basically looks like the Freak of Crystal Cove if he was roided up on steroids. And
God.
yeah, then they go to the world famous hypnotist, like who's a tiny little guy, and he sends them into the dream world to try to like get back his better half, and then they'll learn secrets, and they learn about like the original mystery group, how it was the Hunters of Secrets, and it was four humans and a jaguar, and they wanted to destroy the evil entity, but then the conquistadors like got it first, and then it was always four humans and an animal being affected by the curse, trying to stop it, and the curse trying to have them break him free, and the it's all like a bunch of destiny and magic and shit, and Velma is trying not to believe like any of it, obviously, because she's a woman of science, and
Mhm.
yeah, by the end of it, they like the gang questions like, do we even like each other? Are we even really friends? And Scooby says like, we can't think about that right now. We need the heart of the jaguar, which is revealed to be the thing that'll destroy the evil sarcophagus that's buried beneath Crystal Cove. Anyways, this episode was great. I loved it. I thought it like the villain was fucking terrifying. Like he was just a monster. And when you realize who he is, like he's kind of sad and pathetic because he's the conquistador guy, and he doesn't want the evil to be set free, because if he's set free, then the curse on him will be over, and he believes he should be punished for all eternity. Which, yeah, cry me a river, dude. But yeah, that's. I'm just saying. It's like, bro, come on.
Oh my God.
Hate yourself if you want, but Jesus Christ. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah. Uh, Nightmare Smash, indeed. Okay, yeah, the lore was great, obviously, like, revealing, like, this evil entity's been there forever, and, like, there's always been, like, the four humans and an animal. It actually shows, like, throughout the episode that, the gang sees the different keys used by the four humans and the animal. The, the hat used by the group with Tiny the Bull, the cloth used by uh, the Benevolent Lodge of Mystery, the gun used by the mystery family, the Darrows, and the bull used by the the Spanish mystery gang with the skunk, and it's really interesting to see that. I think the pacing is great. Every moment is spent like just the right amount of time, and the story itself is great. It's really personal. It's the gang finding more about the mysteries of Crystal Cove, and like this the story of like them helping the tiny guy is also fun. Uh, I'd say the one fault is that like again, it's just not as funny as other episodes, which is fine because there's other really funny other funny moments in it like uh there is where like they pull up to the little guy's mansion and he says go away no one's home but you just answered oh I hate when I do that go away anyway. That was really funny. I liked Shaggy like standing up for Scooby being like hey no one talks to my Scooby that way. uh
Yeah.
yeah, I love Velma being like Nova can talk and then Scooby just being like yeah. It's like he's seen that before. um I don't know. It's just nice to see. And also, the moments with Mayor Jones. It's revealed that in this world, like, anybody who's been touched by the curse, the best parts of themselves are trapped in the waiting room, basically. And you see, like, Mayor Jones and, Ricky Owens in here and, like, everyone else who's been touched by the curse. And there's some really nice moments between Mayor Jones and Fred, where Fred is, like, he says like, "Look, I know that you like kidnapped me as a baby, but like I forgive you and like you were better than my biological parents at least." And he says like, "Fred, you are the best part of my life, and even if you don't destroy the curse, I'll always be proud of you." Like that's just such a nice moment. And he's like, "You're the best part of me." That was just so beautiful.
Aw.
Yeah. It was nice and like it reminds you that he has a heart. Like it rotted over, but he has one. And like you also remember like in the finale where he saves Fred's life, and like it's really nice. Um, yeah, but yeah, this episode's just really good. I like it. It's just pure. It's simple. It's one note technically, but the note it does is really well, and I don't know. I just really love this episode so much. Honestly, I think this is in my top 5. I'd put it like here, like just below Dance of Dead and above Pawn of Shadows.
Uh, Honestly, same. Uh, Definitely. I I would say S tier for me. Um, I love the other world.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I love a good chase scene.
Yes, the chase.
So
The chase
this
was
was
fun.
big for me. One of my favorites. I just also Scooby Doo taking charge. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Best boy.
Best boy. Shaggy taking charge. That was fun. I love how like him and Scooby are bait, and like they're terrified, but they do it anyway because they love their friends.
Hmm. I really like this episode.
Me too.
Just because it was visually, it just looks cool.
Honestly, this is in my top 5. Uh, all right. Okay. All right. If we got nothing else to say, I guess it's Dark Knight of the Hunters. All right. I'd say this episode overall was good. It was pretty good. I'd say this is like my like it's like near the middle, kind of the bottom of A tier for me. I'm just gonna rank it.
Elmo's mom.
Velma's mom returns. She's best MILF. I love this is a little thing I love about the episode where like it's implied that Velma got jinkies from her mom. Like I find that really cute. Also, there's some weird stuff that we should get out of the way first, which is like some older men flirt at Velma, and Velma's like 16, 17 in this season, and it's like kind of weird. Uh, and like they do it because of Velma's mom went here at 16, which again also not good. Um,
Mhm.
let's see, the guy who like Enrique who has like feelings for Velma's mom. It's like, bro, that was years ago. That was a fucking fling. I'm glad you had fun. Move on. Go get therapy. You're not as bad as the other guy. You're not as bad as the Mr. Stand and Deliver, but like you have a wife now. Fucking love her, man. Uh, anyways, yeah, villain overall was pretty good though. I liked the plant witch, even though we didn't really get to see her that much. That was my main gripe, where it kind of wasn't about her. Like the episodes even jokes about it, where it's like she's like, oh, and you will never see Enrique again, and then Scooby's like, oh yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, them like finding the temple with the heart of the jaguar spear is great. I love how Fred knew all the traps. That was fun. Um, there there are some really funny gags in this episode, like Scooby saying like, you know, Velma's mom being like, oh, this will be simple, and then Scooby being like, it's never that simple. uh yeah, there's apparently Mayor Nettles got a dream to be here, which is a kind of weird cop out, but whatever. uh Shaggy and Scooby attacking the plants is fun. The story was just really good in general, as well as the pacing. Very few things to complain about. I didn't like the wife character. She was kind of like, just kind of felt like a stereotype of like the mean wife, like the wife of
Yeah.
Enrique. And then yeah, but otherwise it was really good. There's some really funny lines, like Fred being like, you know, at every trap he's like, stop, and then he'd do it, and then like the final one he's like, stop, my shoe's untied. Yeah. And the chase is fun, even though, like, again, the monster didn't really do much this episode. And yeah, the lore's great. The heart of the jaguar was, you know, used by the old gang. And also, I really like the heart to heart that Velma and her mom have, where, you know, she's like, I don't know, there's just like things that I thought were like facts that aren't, and like the supernatural might be real, and I'm just questioning my entire thought process. And Velma's mom is just like, just trust in yourself, that's all that matters. And she hugs her mom, and it's really sweet. Yeah. Hi, Ghost Host Ghost
Yeah, I'm
Sham, thanks
glad
for the headphones.
I'm glad Velma could finally accept she has a really cool mom.
Yeah. No, I think she was more like, she accepts she's vulnerable, and like she doesn't know everything, and that's okay, and that
Mhm.
she knows that she loves her friends, and that's what matters. I think that's nice. The Yeah, comedy was pretty good. Villain was okay. Yeah, I'd say like villain was probably the like weakest part, and then the comedy. But yeah, story and pacing were really good, and the yeah, the lore was great. Seeing the heart of the jaguar was awesome. Uh, and also, yeah, like Shaggy like cutting down the plants is fucking cool. I love that. Like he just gets like the tweezers and he fucking chops at it. Like he's really brave, honestly. Okay. Alrighty. There's only 3 episodes left. Is there anything else you want to say about this one before we get to the final 3?
Uh, I mean, it was. I really liked it because we got to see, you know, Miss Mom's past, but also the
Velma's
fight
mom has got it
that is
going on.
going on. In any episode she's in, I love it. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Call you Mr. Dinkley.
definitely in B, just for me.
I
But I did like the little fight scene, or kind of fight. I do like plant monsters, so I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Did I
But
place this correctly? I hold on. Did I accidentally place it in the wrong tier? Hold on. I'm trying to find it. Hold on. Wait a fucking second. Yeah, no, I placed it. Yeah, it's I'd put it like, yeah, here-ish. Okay. Yeah, is there anything else you want to say before we move on with things?
Uh, nah, that's pretty much it.
All
Just
right.
Velma's mom. She's cool. Yeah, I love her.
Yeah, it was nice to see her again. I think it's nice whenever she helps with the gang. She also did give a good idea. She had like the weed killer that helped with the the plant witch.
She's so sweet. I love her.
Yeah.
But
Also, wood smash. Yeah. Okay. Um. Okay. Gates of Gloom is the next episode, and
Woo.
this is a really fucking stellar episode. Uh. Yeah, the next three are great. These are like a great finale. But yeah, basically the plot is the Scooby gang go back to Crystal Cove, and everyone's been taken underground. And it turns out to be the German bots, and it's Professor Pericles digging underground to find the, the gate to the treasure of Crystal Cove. And the gang are just like looking over the clues, trying to figure out what it means, and they like start an uprising and save the townsfolk from Professor Pericles. And it's just such an awesome episode. Like, a lot of things are resolved, like, character arc wise. Like, Shaggy and Scooby are brave as fuck. Uh, Freddy and Daphne share what they think could be their final moments together, where they kiss and embrace. And Daphne apologizes, actually, for being, like, pushy to Fred, which is actually kind of nice. And, Velma is just like, yeah, like, I trust you guys. And it's really sweet. Like, this episode has some really amazing moments, like Scooby and Shaggy fighting off the bots and the Mystery Machine fucking dying to save everybody. That's cool. The fake out death was kind of like sad, though thankfully the gang was okay. And I love how the villains are bickering. Like, you see Brad and Judy's real side. They're angry and bitter people at the end of the day. Like, and they're just like fighting with each other, especially in the next episode. But yeah, this episode was great. Every moment felt like earned. Like, Professor Pericles is like at his most evil. He's a cackling maniac looking for power and wealth. And yeah, it's like the story is coming to an end, and like, you know, it's almost the end, and you can just feel it, and it's really fucking fun all the way through. Yeah, we're gonna get to Hot Dog Water. She's in the next episode, not in this one yet, but yeah. Anyways. Yeah, no, this is not that episode yet. It's the one before that one. It's the one before that one.
Mentally preparing myself.
Yes. Anyways, what did you think of Gates of Gloom?
Uh, Honestly, last three episodes are scary. I'm on the edge
Yeah.
of my seats.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
worried about everyone's safety.
yeah, stakes wise it's terrifying. Like, it's not about like a scary monster. Like, kind of the monster of this episode, this whole series, honestly, the main like Nibiru, the sarcophagus, it's kind of like a representation for like passed down evil, like trauma that's been passed down, like problems
Ooh.
passed down generationally, and like how the new generation has to deal with them and how they fuck up their own way, uh, and how it slowly, but because of that, it slowly gets better and better as times shift to be more progressive, and eventually there's a group that breaks the cycle, which is like really hopeful, honestly, because like every other mystery gang was turned evil, but Mystery Inc. stayed together and did what was right, and they rose above the challenge and didn't let a predesigned destiny stop them. Uh, there's yeah, that's other moments in this episode is fucking Sheriff Bronson Stone being a badass, leading the charge of people and embracing Mayor Nettles. That was fucking awesome. Love that. And also Mr. E being scared that Cassidy was really gone was really sad, because it showed that like even despite him being terrible and evil and shitty, he still like cared a little bit.
Yeah. So, I like how you could tell that he wasn't like too far gone.
Yeah, he was like, besides Cassidy, he was the only one of that group that like there was still some good in him.
Ah,
Yeah, and then
just my heart.
yeah, my heart. Also, yeah. Also, again, although this episode is not as funny as other ones, there were some really funny lines. Like, you know, if I'm being like, they made fun of these authors for predicting submarines and going to the moon. They use submarines to go to the moon, and then Scooby's just like, I guess so. That was pretty funny. Uh, yeah, yeah. I fucking love the nice kiss that they share, and Scooby being like, get ready. This is the intensity. Yeah. All right. Okay. I would rate this like below Nightmare in Red. It's still really fun. This is like if I this is definitely top 6, but yeah, this is a really good episode. I really love it.
Yeah, definitely an A.
I'd put it in S personally.
Uh, uh,
Okay, why is it an S for you? Tell me. I want to know.
well,
Yeah. No, you stand by your opinion. I want to know like how you feel about it.
top top A,
Mhm.
but only because I know the next couple ones are even better.
Mhm. Nice.
So this is it's really up there, but
Not as good as it
there's
could be.
more that's coming. Yeah, there's more. I'm holding out for more. There's more.
Yes. All right. I agree with that. I can understand that. But yeah. Uh, Next up, we have episode 51, Through the Curtain. Uh, this episode, the gang goes through the different trials of the elements, and they use the different keys to get through it. And, they butt heads with the original Mystery Inc. gang, and they get to the sarcophagus, but they're stopped, and Professor Pericles opens it up, and the evil is released. It's a very simple plot, but damn, is it effective! Every the gang working together as a team is really great. I love like Marcy shows up and she helps the gang like stall for time, and she's killed very tragically. And God, fucking, that's so sad to see Marcy fucking gunned down. Uh, I'm not. This show is more adult than the adult Scooby Doo show. Like the death in this show actually fucking means something, as opposed to being played for a joke. Anyway, sorry. Fucking hate Velma. Now this fits. Sorry, this episode really got. Yeah, yeah. They actually fucking killed her. Let's see. Other parts of this episode that were great. Seeing the entity like up close was like like it was like, oh my god, like they actually did it. The challenges were really fun. All the different elements were there. The like here it is. It's the end. Like everything's about to go to shit. Uh, the all the pacing was right. Again, it's not as funny as other episodes, but that's not because it's not trying to be. But there are still some good lines, like uh, them uh, them using the third key. They were like, well, that was anticlimactic. uh, Also, there was a really funny bit with Brad and Judy, where it's like blockhead more like, and then Brad was like, "Thanks." Wait, what? Yeah, yeah, it was fun. Yeah, the imagery of the sarcophagus was good, and them like him trying to gaslight the gang, being like, I brought you together. Your friendship is based on me. You are supposed to release me." And then, uh, like, I think, yeah, it was Velma being like, "No, like we're friends and we're gonna stop you. He's lying to us." Uh,
Which
yeah,
is why this is S tier and
it's
one of my
it.
favorites.
Yes, go off, King, go. I'll rank it too.
Ah,
I'll put it. I'm gonna put it like this is like my fifth favorite episode for sure.
See, last episode was good, but this one,
Yeah.
oh, this one,
Yeah.
like, Marcy, I love you, but
Hmm. Oh, poor baby girl gets taken
uh,
away so fast. Uh,
but the imagery, of like the challenges is my absolute favorite. I love
yes,
them.
it's really fun.
So
I'm a sucker for the classical four elements.
yeah.
Yeah. Also, Mr. E being like, "You're tearing yourselves apart," and it's great. Like he's like, "I'm sick of you freaks." Like he's like that. I love that about him. Uh, yes. And then yeah, they let go of the evil entity. I don't know. There's not much more to say. It's just really fucking good. Uh, and the entity is scary. Like he looks a little stupid because he's a like a noodly monster, but like his voice is intimidating. Uh, yeah. Is there anything else you want to say before we go to the final episode?
Just that I really love this episode, and you guys should definitely all watch it just for these last two
Yes.
episodes,
Yes, 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 yes,
because
yes. Very good, very good, very good.
I always get really excited towards
Yeah,
like the end.
me too.
Like I know what's gonna happen, but
You're still excited to see it because it's just that good.
yeah.
All right. I. All right, here we go. This is the end.
Here it
This is
is. Here it is.
Come Undone. And, all right, so this episode starts. The entity is released. And, he Professor Pericles absorbs it. And, like, then the entity takes him over and is destroying everything. And then the gang, through the power of the heart of the jaguar, which isn't the spear, it's their friendship, their love for each other, they destroy the entity. And that's the first half. The second half is the gang goes to a new world. So do you know Back to the Future?
Yeah.
All right. So you know how like
It's been a
Marty,
while.
he goes back to like the present and then he is like he's in a new world, like his siblings are like the same but they're like more successful and his like dad is cool and all that stuff.
Mhm.
They get back to the future because they remember everything from their previous world and not this new one. And this new one, there's a bunch of shit that happens. Which let me go down the list. So the things that are different about this world are, and I quote, let's see, so, so the sheriff and Mayor Nettles are married and have kids, and Daphne's their babysitter. The sign says Crystal Cove, the sunniest place on earth. Darrow Mansion is above ground, and Danny Darrow isn't a goblin anymore. He's just an old man. Brad and Judy help babies be born, and Daphne and Fred's parents have them engaged, and Daphne's sisters suck now. Shaggy's parents are proud that he's a master chef. Instead of Destroido, it's Creation X, and it's owned by Ricky Owens and Cassidy Williams and Professor Pericles. Marcy and Velma are science fair winners. Also, they're lesbians, definitely. Fred is liked by the jocks and is a star athlete. Jones is a principal, and Fred has a normal van. And yeah, those are the changes. The present was changed because when they destroyed the evil, it was like it never existed. And at first they're sad. They're like, "This isn't our world. This isn't our like lives, like to live." And then they get a disc from supposedly someone named Mr. E, and then it's Harlan Edison actually, which makes sense. It was the author guy from Shargar Gothicon, not Hatecraft, but the other guy. Do you remember?
Oh, yes.
Yes, so it was him, and he says, "I know everything in parallel universes. I'm giving you all scholarships to Miskatonic University." And they're like, "Hey, that's on the other side of town. Let's go there and solve as many mysteries as we can." And that's kind of where it ends. It's this episode's phenomenal. I love it. The villain is great. They fucking defeat him with the power of love, which is generic, but it's very cool. the way they do it. Like all the team like throws the staff to each other, and then Scooby fucking kicks into the sarcophagus. The world blows up. Like the comedy of like seeing every of the gang's reactions to everything changing is kind of funny. Again, I'd say like the one falter is that this episode isn't like comedy focused, which that's the point of it. It's fine. Uh, there's some great scenes like the gang like outwitting the robots. Mr. E fucking defending the kids and saying run. Like that's his bravest moment. Like he earns back my respect a little bit. I the entity does look a little stupid, but like he does look Cthulhu like, so I think that's what they were going for. It just kind of looks like Professor Pericles became a squid. Like that's all it is. Uh
Yeah.
yeah. There's yeah, there's let's see other moments that happen. Uh yeah, the ending is just really sweet. Like the music plays this cheesy rock as they turn the van back into the mystery machine and they just ride off into the night, and Nova, the Anunnaki possessing her, says, "Thank you, Scooby Doo. You're the bravest dog there is." And then Scooby says, "Scooby Dooby Doo," as a laugh track plays, which I think is really good. It's like, hey, I think this episode is saying like this series has come to an end, but there'll always be Scooby Doo. There'll always be adventures. So go find the adventure and the mystery in your life and go solve them. Uh, I think it's really beautiful, this episode. Like it's just such a nice end because it's not only an ending, it's an epilogue to the series, and the I don't know, it's just fucking fantastic. I love it, and the I don't know, the just all the things that happens. It's just really a good climax. Let me rephrase that. It's really a good ending to the series, and I don't know. Every time I watch this episode, I just like I tear up a little because it's like, oh yeah, it's over, but you know, that's okay.
I love this episode because everyone is alive and happy and everything is okay.
And Velma's a lesbian, and Fred's parents are proud of him, and Daphne's parents are proud of her, and Shaggy's parents are proud of him, and Ricky Owens and Cassie Williams are back. They're back. They're fucking dating. They're married, maybe. Yeah, no, they're married. Fucking Coach Jones and Principal Jones. Let's see. There's fucking the
Um,
what else? Fred's a cool superstar, but then they go and do mysteries anyway because they're like, fuck all that. We're gonna live the life we want.
woo!
Yeah, I kind of like that because it does go into the theme of like you choose whatever your life you want it to be. And it's like they love mysteries. That's who they are. They love solving them and being together as a friend group. So that's what they're gonna do.
Oh, my
Uh,
heart.
yeah, I love this episode. I'm gonna rank it right now. This is my favorite episode of this show.
Oh,
I think I it is my favorite when I do a rewatch. I think if I were to rank these like, you know, if like I was ranking them all individually as opposed to together, like I would say probably Dance of the Undead is my favorite. But I put Fear of the Freak, All Fear of the Freak, and Come Undone above it because they're like it's as a series as a whole. Like these are cliff notes, they're endings that are perfect for what they are. Uh, and yeah, Come Undone is just a perfect ending. It shows that like, hey, Scooby and the gang will always be around, and you know, it's just you make life whatever you want of it.
yeah, who's gonna listen to a 1,000-year curse?
Yeah, fuck that.
A Scooby Dooby Doo.
Yeah, it's nice. It's
I like this happy ending, and I'm
me,
glad they did it.
me too. Where would you rank this?
Ah, honestly, damn, it might. The last three might be like my favorites, but this one, it might also be my favorite just because everyone is okay.
Yeah, it's nice. It's kind of refreshing, like having such a dark show. It's just like comes back to like, hey, it's all good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all my favorite characters are here just vibing, living life.
yeah. Who's Okay,
Oh.
what's your second favorite episode? You know, so your favorite's this one. What's your second?
Uh, the last one.
That
But then
what do you mean? You just bro.
I don't know, the oh no. Uh, the second to last, the last one I think is
the
my favorite one too.
Okay, so you're through the curtain, the one where they're going with through the elemental stuff.
Yes.
Yes. Hell yeah. All right. I respect that. But yeah, that's the series, folks. I love it. I love the series. I have been critical about certain things like the fucking stand and deliver, and especially like things like Battle of the Humongonauts, the Secret Serum. But I criticize only because I love. Because in general, like if I was ranking this in TV general, even the worst episode, like the Humongonauts one, that's okay. And every other one, you know, like most of them are fantastic. But I'm ranking them more like together, like with each other. But yeah, overall, this show is like an A tier. It's nearly perfect. There's some really problematic things and like just bad writing sometimes, and like the occasional episode that sucks and is draining, like Battle of the Humongonauts. But overall, this show is fantastic. I recommend it. This is in my top 20 shows of all time, and I will never tire of doing a rewatch of it.
It's true. I watched this at least 5 times now.
I've watched it at least like three
Four.
times now.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. You should watch it, Wax. It's really good. Okay, I'm going to raid someone because we're done now, almost. We just need to raid. Is there anyone you want me to suggest to raid, or do you want me to find someone?
Oh. Uh,
If not, it's
I
okay.
don't think any of my buddies are online right now.
That's
So.
fine. That's fine. I'll raid my lovely friend Creep Show, who is live.
Ooh.
Uh, Hold on. I need to mute this. Uh, she's really cool. Creep Show is really awesome. She's a VTuber who is, yeah, she got a creepy aesthetic. Love her. She's great. Let's see. We're going to raid Creep Show. All right. Before we go, obviously follow me and follow uh Dom on oh frick, I forgot. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, follow me, follow uh Dom. Ah,
Hey, what's up?
hello. All right. Follow Fractured Fairy Tales. Follow the art friends who made my art assets, and follow my lovely friend Vincent who made this PNG of mine. Goodbye, all my myths, monsters, all sorts of folklore and legend. Thank you for showing up. Please stick around for the Creepshow raid. Creepshow's an awesome streamer. Go follow her. And go follow Dom. He's an excellent, excellent friendo. Anything else you want to say before we go, Dom?
Make sure you watch Scooby Doo Incorporated season
Yes.
1 and 2, guys.
Yes, very
Woo!
good. Go watch. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye
Bye.
bye.